Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 196. Oh my gosh, we have 1 month.
Wow.
Until episode 200. I can't believe it. That doesn't feel right. All right.
Yeah, so what are we doing for 200?
No, exactly. Before we get started, obviously.
Oh, please.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to just Orlando.
Yeah, I know, man.
Crazy stuff is happening in Orlando, man. Homegirl from The Voice. Obviously, the thing at Pulse nightclub. I don't know why, but it shook me more than usual.
Yeah,
that one. And so I was down for a couple days about it, man. I was talking to my wife. I was like, I'm used to bad stuff happening. Why is this one feel a little different?
Well, because it's it's music and entertainment related. I think it hits home more for you.
Gosh, I don't even know.
And for all of us, I mean, it's
just sickening. Ugh. And it just sucks.
Absolutely.
And then I wake up this morning and am checking the news, and then the freaking crocodile at Disney World.
Yeah.
Wait, what? I didn't hear about that.
An alligator came up and grabbed a 2-year-old and took it into the lake.
Did they ever find the body? I didn't check it.
I mean, not yet, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
So that's sad, but at least it's an animal being an animal.
Yeah.
Not humans being animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Wow.
Last I checked, before I went to bed, they usually do a movie night on the beach. In fact, Lauren and Piper and I did that.
We've done it. Yeah.
When we were at the Polynesian. This was over at the Grand Floridian, and there's Seven Seas Lagoon. It is huge, and I'm sure there's gators in there, but I'm sure there's nothing that big in there, and Disney's usually pretty good about their animal control and that stuff. This is just tragic, though, because a gator just doesn't come out of nowhere.
Right.
I don't know if the kid was by himself or what was going on, or being somewhere where he wasn't supposed to, but it's just tragic.
So sad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is just tragic.
You know, we gotta kick it off with saying that our thoughts and prayers are going out to all the families involved, and it's just like, especially the Pulse nightclub thing, like it's just so many families involved with that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's just,
it's absolutely senseless, and everybody just needs to take a step back, breathe, and just be kind to one another. That's all we can do now.
I really loved that on Sunday night before his show, John Oliver showed that clip that someone posted on Twitter of hundreds of people lined up to donate blood that weekend. And I thought it was just a really good reminder that it was a horrible, horrible event, but there's a lot of good out there too. And it was just, that helped a little bit.
An immediate response, immediate good too. Like everybody's just ready to go. The hospitals went down in lockdown after that, and so everybody just kind of stepped up and be like, okay, we'll just set up blood drives and get things going.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's exactly how it's done. That's how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
All right,
Man.
Eduardo.
Yes.
What have you been doing, man?
Well, Saturday, Sarah and I decided to make, sometimes the days fly by. So we decided Saturday to make it go as slowly as possible. So a friend of ours has a kid in ballet, and we went to a ballet performance that had 2 intermissions.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Bring it.
2 intermissions?
2 intermissions.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And about 84 encores.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's an epic journey. An epic journey.
And then after that,
84 encores.
It was. I was giggling at the end.
Mm-hmm. Was it giggling or were you drunk?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
What? Okay, so Amara's got a recital tonight.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
And Jenny said, the thing that sucks is she has to stay backstage the whole time, so we have to stay through the whole thing. I said, no, she doesn't.
Gabe knows how this goes. Let's go.
Ain't
Come
gonna
on.
hold my child hostage backstage while I sit here.
When she's done, out.
And watch
man.
My Little Lollipop 17 more times.
I'm telling you, there were not as many people in the audience at the end as there were in the beginning. So you're not alone in that boat.
I believe that.
Golly.
My favorite part was when the MC was welcoming everyone in the beginning, and she said there will be Between the first and second act, there will be a 10-minute intermission, and between acts 2 and 3, there will be a 15-minute intermission. And one guy goes, "Ugh."
Hall was there? Hall was there at your recital?
Exactly.
Yeah, what was Hall doing at the recital?
Oh, what are you doing here?
I thought the same thing.
Oh,
That is funny.
yeah, man. Been there, done that, just
Right?
experienced that too. Mhm.
Why are they so long?
You got to do stuff.
And why did you guys go?
They're really good friends of ours. We actually go to their house every Sunday afternoon and spend the day there and just hang out.
And
we owe them a lot of money.
Now they owe them big time, so that's probably good.
Did one
Bank
of them
that.
give you a kidney or something?
Yep.
Exactly.
You're like, well, the wife gave me her stomach, so
Yeah, so we kind of had to go to this. I mean, it's just one
yeah,
of
we
those
kind of have
things.
to go because she donated her stomach, for goodness sakes.
Oh, that's
So,
amazing. Well, that's a platinum trophy.
Well, it's a something.
Yeah,
After the
I think that's
ballet,
an achievement.
we
I don't
walked.
think that's a trophy.
That's a platinum
It's
punishment.
definitely an achievement. Yeah.
Yeah.
After the ballet, we walked down to the Lancaster Barnstormers Clipper Magazine Stadium, and we watched a baseball game.
Sweet.
So it was.
You really were trying to have the day drag on.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
you
you,
did.
man, that you can't pick too longer events.
And then they went and
No,
played
you
golf.
I know, right?
All the things Ed loves.
And then we watched the Nintendo press conference.
Oh, no. Oh, that's just the icing on the cake there.
Touche.
The cherry on top.
That's funny.
Touche, Edward, son.
Let's see, but that was pretty much the whole weekend. The big outing. Yeah, we walked everywhere, which was kind of nice. We were exhausted Sunday, but it was nice to just get out there and walk around, and
There you go.
It's great, man.
it was a good time. As far as gaming goes, grabbed Gone Home on the as part of PlayStation
Nice.
Plus
Yep.
and ran through that. Favorite part of the game is the fact that you can interact with almost everything. So I spent an inordinate amount of time putting objects in places they didn't belong.
Sweet. As you do.
I put the ice cream in the microwave.
Yeah. Putting yourself at a ballet recital.
Exactly. Like what's wrong here? Played some Watch Dogs.
Wait. How's Gone Home?
Eh.
Oh, shit.
It's one of those games where
I heard it was good.
it's very story driven, and sometimes that can equal boring,
Yeah.
and sometimes that can equal, when I think of story driven, almost a walking simulator. I want everything to be like everyone's going to the rapture and just really take me somewhere.
Right.
And this, at the end of the game, I said we could have done this in 10 minutes.
No.
really? Oh, wow,
there wasn't
okay.
a lot that happened. And
What's it about? I watched the first episode.
yeah, it's about that. You're wandering around the house,
Yeah.
and you're basically finding out where your little sister is. You've come home from being away for a little while, and through a series of notes that you find, your sister is not there. No one's there, and so you're just figuring out where everyone went. And if I hadn't gone into it just knowing it's supposed to be one of the best games that came out and all these accolades, maybe it would have been a little bit different. But I went in with
high
raised expectations. Yeah,
Shoot. Yeah,
There's your
that's-
first flaw.
exactly. Yeah. So I had to cleanse my palate with some Watch Dogs. I broke that out.
Man, I'm
There
so
you
glad
go.
you're playing that. I love that
Oh,
game.
man, it's
and
so
I'm
much
glad you're
fun.
loving that game too.
So much fun. And I remember it got a lot of hate, and I
It
can't
did.
remember why, because I had such a great time with it.
Because it was
Yeah, I
hyped.
think a lot of people don't like Aiden. That was the problem.
Really? Okay.
Well,
they just-
and remember, it was hyped like a beast before
It
it came
was.
out.
It
Yeah.
was hype. It was hype. But I think a lot of people just didn't like the character, which I did not have a problem with him at all. This is like your
Yeah.
typical. It's kind of a typical scenario, typical story. So I'm like,
Right.
oh yeah, cool. That makes sense. That's why he's pissed off and ready to go. Let's do this. Great.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
a lot of people had problems with it.
A lot of people, probably the main reason that people had issues with the game is because it was hyped for so long. It was like 3 years before it finally released. And every time they showed the game from the first reveal out until the release, every time they showed it, it looked a little bit worse than the time before as far as like graphic fidelity.
Yeah.
And so that ticked people off. And so when you go in, because you're already mad, you're like, you downgraded my game. Well, I'm going to pick everything apart. So then they just started picking at anything that was potentially not their, cup of tea.
Very true.
So it was started like in the hole just because of those issues, and people already had a vendetta against it. That's the main reason why.
Right.
I agree.
Without having played it, by the way. That's the way people were about it.
Yeah. Freaking people.
Freaking people.
Yeah, if we've learned anything from this last week.
I know, right?
Freaking people.
And then I wrapped everything up with some Trials of the Blood Dragon.
Nah, I'm so glad you played that.
Looks so fun.
Oh my gosh.
Is
so
that
much
new,
fun.
or where did that come from? I hadn't even heard of it.
I hadn't heard of it either.
It was released during the Ubisoft press conference.
Yeah.
That's why I missed it.
And I had heard that it was in the makes, but just kind of heard a very like a rumbling of, hey, we're going to make this like a while ago, and then nothing else about it. And I had totally forgotten that it even was a thing that they were working on.
That's how you do games. You say, hey, we're working on this, and make everybody forget, and then bam, check it's in your face.
Exactly.
I know.
Available now. Boom.
They released it the same day. And so did you beat it, right?
I beat it, yeah. And it was so much fun.
It looked cool. Like the mechanics looked really fun, and yeah, that looked awesome, man.
Looked like Trials, that's for sure.
Yeah, I loved Trials, loved Blood Dragon, and they perfectly blended the two together. And I almost rage quit at one point. It was, but it was fun. It was a good struggle, and that was a good week.
And you made it through.
I made it through. It's the first time I've beaten a Trials game all the way through.
If you can get through a recital, you can get through Trials.
That's right.
I know that's right. Oh my gosh, Chris McCracken.
My weekend it felt like it was super short. It kind of was a bit of a blur. I don't really remember a lot of it. It was quiet. Didn't do a whole lot. Stacy had to work on Saturday. She's back in town, and she's having to do a couple things on the weekends. She was off on Sunday, though. So Saturday, I just took care of some chores, some things around the house, played some games, but mostly did some work prep because this weekend, starting Monday, we're having contractors at our house. And so they've been working on doing a few more things. Like we had our kitchen redone not too long ago, but we didn't do like a backsplash and a couple of other things.
Oh, nice.
So they're here doing that part of it. And they're also doing fixing a few things and replacing a few things in our guest bathroom, and I think one or two things in our main bathroom. We're going to completely redo our master bath at some point, but that's going to be a big chunk of change. So we're like, how about you just do these few little things right now, just that really bother us?
Amen to that.
So I brought home some work that I could work from home on, and it's all been going fine. My brand new monitor that I got like 3 months ago is starting to die on me.
What?
Oh, no.
Which is crazy.
So I called LG. It's an LG ultra wide 21:9 monitor. And it's just started like going to a black screen. Like it'll flicker a little bit. And when it starts to flicker, I know, okay, within the next 5 minutes, it's probably going to just go black screen.
Yep.
It's not shutting off. It's just going to a black screen.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I turn the power from the power button off and turn it back on, it will come back on. But usually what I have to do is pull the power cord and plug it back in.
Oh, wow.
So I've been dealing with that. I did call LG because I was like, this has got to be under warranty, and they are going to take care of getting it fixed. I have to take it to a local shop where the person's going to figure out what's wrong with it, get the parts from LG, and they're going to cover the cost for getting it repaired. Yeah, that's all great. It's just, it sucks because
you're out of monitor.
I'm out of monitor. I do have an old one that I'm using right now, which is working fine. An old Apple monitor. It's still kicking. And, but the thing is that I rarely get to work from home because everything is on a dedicated server at work. So I was able to finally put some stuff on a hard drive and come home. It's like, man, now I got to use this little rinky-dink monitor. I don't get to use my massive, awesome, cool monitor anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm like having to scroll over to make this change, and then scroll back and look, did it make a difference? And then scroll over and look at it. It's like, oh, great. Really?
Jeez,
yeah.
Please.
But, worst things in the world, I guess.
First world problems, brother.
Exactly, right? Other than that, it's just been kind of quiet. And so I've been playing some games. Actually, I've been playing one game.
Overwatch. Of course.
And luckily, my friend here, Gabe, got the game too, finally. So we've been playing some with the community and some Bad Gamer and some other people, and it has just been a blast, an absolute blast. I've loved it.
I mean,
So cool.
it's so I haven't done this since Destiny, like play a game with people,
Yeah.
and I forgot how fun. Like, even though it's frustrating for me because, just first person shooters aren't the easiest thing in the world for me online, especially because people are just so good. But I feel like the game does pretty good at balancing that out. Like, it's not like you don't have the quick scoping and stuff that you have in Call of Duty. And so it feels like you have a little bit more of a chance, maybe.
Well, and also it's crazy because like I was talking to Gabe when he was first starting to play and I said he was going through characters to try. I said, try McCree. He's a cowboy. And he played him. He's like, man, that guy is not all that great. And I was like, this is how it is. That character right now in the community is considered the most overpowered character. And he was not an easy character to use.
No, he's not easy.
And when I say the most overpowered, I mean like he's about to get a nerf and a patch that Overwatch, the Blizzard just announced. But he's not like ridiculous. Like you don't use him, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm killing everything. It's like, well, okay, if he's the quote most overpowered, the game's pretty dang balanced.
Yes, exactly. I mean, he's only got 6 bullets, for goodness sakes.
I know. And he walks really slow. He's like, it's high noon. Just shoots everybody. It's awesome.
Yeah. Man, we've been having fun with that.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
And there's this guy in it. He's a healing character. His name is Lucio. He's just got some of the best lines in the game. It's just, I'm constantly saying them. I'll be walking around and be like, move in with the payload. Let's get you healed up. All this crazy stuff. It's just
so
the
cool.
lines stick in my head. And not only is he a healer and he says these cool lines, but he's got dreads, he's a DJ, and he's wearing rollerblades, and he can wall
Awesome.
ride.
Of course.
I mean, it's just so cartoony and hilarious to me.
Yeah,
It's
man,
still
that's
just
great.
such a fun
He's
game.
me from 14 years ago, pretty much.
Yes.
It is. It's you, Gabe.
Maybe that's why I don't like him much.
Aw.
I'm like, is that what I look like?
He looks like you too much. Uh-oh.
It's just the dreads and the music and the rollerblades. I used to go rollerblading around my house back in the late 90s.
So I know we're going to touch on this stuff a little bit later, but I will say that I did download a couple demos that were released at E3, and so we can talk about those later. I'll mention what they are, but I do have a few demos on each console that I'm planning to give a shot this week because I think they're only live this week, so I need to get on it soon.
yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Right.
But that's me.
Right. Good. Router.
Piper's question of the week. Here we go. Ready?
Oh, she has a question of the week now.
Oh, sorry. Topic. I meant topic of the week.
Man, she's stepping up her game.
I know,
Bringing
I was like,
questions now.
Hey, girl, let's go.
I know. She's like, where do babies come from?
Oh, snap.
And go.
Let me ask these guys. They'll explain
Oh, you,
it.
Gabe, go for it.
Exactly.
So the topic of the week, I'm sorry, is Disney's Crossy Road, because that's all she's been playing all week.
Really?
She freaking loves that game. So
Wow.
Did Disney buy Crossy Road?
No, but Hipster Whale did an entire Disney Crossy Road app, and it's got like almost all the different movies, like Zootopia. There's Inside Out, and they're all different themes, and they're incredible, by the way. So if you have a chance, download
those guys already, like, even in the stuff they did, was killing it. Yes.
That's all you can say. I love them. They're great developers. Everything looks so good, and it's fun, and she is having a ball with it. So she's like collecting coins, collecting coins, and then like all she wants is Officer Hops from Zootopia, which is the little bunny rabbit. So like every time a free gift comes on, like she's like, oh, let's hope this is the bunny. Let's hope. It's so she's having so much fun with this game, and we're all playing it now, trying to get Officer Hops for her too. So
that's
awesome.
Great.
So last night I asked her, I said, what topic do you want to talk about tomorrow? She's like, Disney Crossy Roads.
So is it basically just the Crossy Roads game, but with Disney characters, right?
Yeah. So you start with Mickey Mouse, and there's a whole Mickey Mouse theme, and then you can unlock Minnie, Donald, Goofy. There's like Mortimer Mouse. There's like even old school characters. Then there's Zootopia, and you can unlock like a gazillion characters. There's Wreck-It Ralph. You can unlock Gene.
Oh, nice.
Fix-It Felix. Like and they're all different levels, and it's fantastic. Like they put a lot of time into this. And
I know what I'm doing for the rest of the day.
Heck yeah, man!
Right?
Please do download it. It is so much fun. Sadness from Inside Out. basically
No.
crawls the whole time. There's no hopping. She just crawls.
Oh, that's so
she like
funny.
slides on the floor like she does in the movie. Like that kind of stuff is brilliant. Like the attention to detail is so awesome. So I highly encourage everyone, along with Piper, to download and play Disney Crossy Road. It is
Nice.
great.
I like it. That's great.
I, like you, Ed, attended my sweet daughter's ballet recital.
Oh,
So
nice.
is it just that time of year?
It is that time of year, absolutely.
Dang it, man. Golly.
They did it right, though. The Grassland Dance Academy that she's a part
They
of.
canceled it?
No, they did.
Oh man,
They
come
did
on now.
They did 2 shows. So there was an afternoon and an evening show. So we
gotcha.
had the afternoon show. Friday was dress rehearsal, so we were there from 5 till whenever, and then Saturday at 2:00 was the actual recital. During dress rehearsal, my baby girl fell, and like she got tripped while they were doing their routine. Did this quick little barrel roll, and my girl got right back up and went right back into it. So
That's how you do it.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
So proud of her. Everybody was laughing hysterically, but she got right up. Like I really wanted to make a little gif out of it of her like falling down, getting back up, falling down again. But I felt that was probably
you recorded it?
Oh, I have it. Yes.
Please make a gif
Oh,
of
man.
it, please.
I will. Where would you like me to post it?
And I could I could just watch it during Amara's recital today.
Okay, all right, yeah,
Just
I'll send
over
it.
and over
I'll
on
send it
repeat.
to all you guys.
Nice.
But I'm so proud of her. Like she just kind of did this. She tripped. She like looked up for a second, like, and there wasn't a ton of people in the place anyway. This was the rehearsal, and so she just kind of looked both ways, and then boom, went right back into it. So I was so proud of her,
I like
and that's
it.
what we
Very
told
nice.
her. We told her afterwards. We said, "Honey, if ever anything like that happens, you just keep going and get right back up." And she was
Right.
awesome. So the actual recital, she did great. She looked adorable, and there was no tripping or anything. So it was awesome, and it was only an hour long. It was great. So we were in and out, and that's exactly how these recitals go. Last year, same thing, Ed. It was a 3.5 hour ordeal.
No. Come
and
on.
it was just like, ooh, I don't.
Man.
I think they do it just to torture the parents, but
I'm telling you.
but yeah, it was pretty crazy. So proud of Piper. She did so great, and now we're moving on to gymnastics, which is awesome.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see what else is going on. Kind of relived my childhood past on Wednesday with a buddy of mine.
Really?
We went down to Exit Inn and saw Striper, and they freaking rocked the house.
Did they really?
Did they dress like?
No, they didn't. I was
Ah.
like, well, they were playing at Exit Inn, which is a lot small. It's a smaller venue, but we get there. Line is around the block.
What?
Yes, so it was a packed out show. Let me tell you something. Those guys have been around for 32 years together. They're like in their 50s, and it was loud. I mean, loud.
but they
So
were
if you
going
want some
for it.
good old 80s metal, it was really cool. I was actually kind of like, that was awesome. At the very
Wow.
end, Winona Judd came out and made an appearance and sang
What?
"To Hell with the Devil" with them.
Oh my!
It was
gosh.
hilarious. So they announced that they're actually
What?
they're coming back in the fall, and because it's the 30-year anniversary of their hit record "To Hell with the Devil," and they're going to actually dress up in full garb and do the entire record because they're remastering
Wow.
it and re-releasing it. So I'm like, oh, that's going to be hilarious seeing 50-year-olds wearing some black and white tight pants. So black and yellow
Wow.
tight pants. So
Yeah.
let's see how this goes. But it was awesome, man. It was really cool. I kind of felt like a kid again, and it was hilarious.
That's great.
Yeah. What else is going on? It's hot. How about that? Like,
Yeah,
just,
it is.
Oh yeah, it is.
I'm in the car
Gracious.
sweating right now in the garage, which is always fun.
Nice.
I actually got a little. I think Piper gave me some sort of funk going on Friday and Saturday, so I wasn't laid out, but it's just this head coldy coffee thing, and I'm still trying to recover to it. And I thought, oh man, sick. That means I can play a ton of games, and I never got around to it.
Ah,
So
wow.
I actually haven't been playing anything except that Clash Royale, baby, because that's all I really can play right now. So sorry, Chris, I don't have an update on Metal Gear for you. I'm kind of still where I was
No
last
problem,
time.
man. Take your
But
time. No rush.
Yeah, no, I'm still so stoked for it. I'm getting into the thick of it now. So now I just need to keep playing and see how it goes.
I don't want to make you feel like I don't want to call you out or nothing because you may like
You
it, you may
can.
hate it, you may
No,
whatever.
no.
But I'm just gonna say this: if you don't enjoy the stealth in that game, you are not a stealth person
player.
like you. Thank
Exactly.
you. Of course, there is
Exactly.
a difference though in third person stealth and like first person stealth, because like Dishonored kind of stealth, like that totally feels different. You know?
Yeah,
they're completely different.
But there are still kind of they're the same strategies though. There's always the same underlying theme whether you're in a first person or third person scenario. So I'm already there as far as the stealth because I ended up starting over the mission anyway because I'm still getting a feel for the controls.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I like how intricate they are because, normally if you're going to stealth kill somebody, you would just hit a button and it does it for you. This is a little bit different because you R2 to actually hold the person, and then you have options. So you can actually just choke them out, you can kill them, and you can, I think, actually talk to them to interrogate them as well. So there's a detail of it that I'm actually kind of excited. This looks really cool. So I want to see more of that through, and that'll be awesome.
And the thing that I would say is when you find, let's say, and you do a mission, you're like, oh, that mission was really fun. I would suggest go back and do it a couple times because there's not just is there so many different ways to complete the objective, but there's so many different ways to do certain things. Like you said, you can interrogate, or you can choke them, or you can kill them with a knife. But you can also walk up behind them and point a gun at them, and they'll put their hands up and they'll drop their weapon. There's so many different ways that you'll do something. Cool. You're like, oh, this is the way that I'm gonna defeat this guy. And then you'll just find like 5 other ways to do the exact same thing. And you're like, I cannot believe how deep this game gets.
That's
crazy.
Cool because
I'm still finding out stuff now.
My whole thing was, am I doing this right? Am I doing this the way that the developers want me to? And I guess the theme is you can pretty much do whatever you want. And that's what I ended up doing. Like I stealthed half of the people and then got found out and then just blasted everybody else, and everybody was cool with it. And there was no everything's fine. I stole the truck that came in, and that's what I used to get to the next mission point. So yeah, I mean it's totally open world. So it's definitely up my alley, dude. I just like the prologue was just like, ooh, this is gonna be a grind. But now I think we're getting into it, so I'm excited.
And I will say, like, be completely honest. And I know I'm just kind of giving you a hard time. It's not really. I'm really hoping that you love it. But
yeah, I am.
I mean, you may
too.
not, and that's cool. I want you to be honest. But I'm more than anything, I'm hoping I'm right that like Router's gonna love this game. He's gonna come away being like, all right, Kojima, I see what you got going.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And so to wrap this up for me, Monday I took half a day and watched all the press conferences and just I was giddy as a schoolgirl. It was awesome.
Nice.
Mr. Patillo, Blackie weather forecast, go.
It's hot outside.
That's right.
I'm getting blacker. Everything's been good. Been in town. We leave tonight for Atlanta and then head up to Toronto, Canada.
Wow.
So you go from extreme heat and then back up to the north. That's good.
Short little drive from Atlanta to Toronto. A
little bit.
Been chipping away at that old Uncharted.
Nice.
Oh, are you now?
I think I'm on chapter
3?
Not 19.
3.
And so I would have been able to beat it yesterday, but Remy didn't feel like napping yesterday.
Oh.
So where he usually naps twice for 2.5 hours, he napped twice for 45 minutes.
Oh wow.
So it was like, well, that was fun.
Yep.
And so got into a little bit of that yesterday. And I've been moving with the payload with Chris McCracken
nice.
And the community. It was
that's so cool.
There was a point where the whole team was MTTG people.
Oh, awesome.
Very nice.
That's family right there, man. That's great.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was funny because I think we were all playing except one of us, but we were all in a party together. And I think Spencer Stapleton, half the street team, was in there. And he was playing Uncharted.
Yeah, he was working on his platinum. Yeah,
his platinum. He was like,
right.
Just so you guys know, I'm 2/3 of the way through my crushing playthrough. We were like, thank you for the update. Like, go back to talking about what we're doing.
That's great.
And so it was really fun. I mean, since Destiny, just that. Now, it's not the same as Destiny, just as like, because there's not that common goal. Like, you're just trying to win. It's not like Destiny where you're kind of slowly going through a story kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I do miss that a little bit, like, us versus the AI instead of like, or us versus, moving a needle forward instead of just us, PvP.
Yeah.
But still really fun. There's so many characters, and I can't believe they're bringing more characters and maps to that game. It's going to end up looking like Street Fighter by the end of the day with all the different characters. Yeah, so that was really fun. I'm trying to think, man. We got that recital tonight.
Good luck.
Which I'm not excited about. Yeah, this is my first recital outside of like being a part of one.
She's going to crush it.
So maybe it's just payback. So I don't know, hopefully she does fine. I don't know.
Oh, Gabe, I can see you in a tutu right now.
Yeah. And gosh, anything else? I think it's been pretty slow around here.
Does it feel really weird not being at E3 this week? I had to. My heart kind of goes out to you. I'm like, because you've been doing it for what, 4 years straight, 5 years.
Yeah,
straight?
this would have been the fourth year.
Fourth year straight.
It is a little sad, honestly. Like especially watching the Sony press conference.
Oh man,
yeah.
Because that out of all of them are the thing that I always was like trying to get to.
Mm-hmm.
So every time that I've gone to E3, I've landed the day of the Sony press conference. So it's been this mad dash from LAX to the conference.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so to not be doing that this year, I'm trying to like just zoom out and be like, hey, well, this is how I watched the press conference for 10 years. But you get spoiled when you've gone.
Yeah.
You know
I believe it.
Yeah.
You taste the sweet nectar and it is good.
Right. And then for them to switch venues and have the symphony and all that, I was like, oh
man.
gosh. I was like, why am I not there right now?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, I've been at the sports arena the last 3 years is where they've had it. And so they switched up on us this year. And so, I definitely wish that yesterday and today I was on the floor, trying out stuff, but it would have been a stressful time. I mean, number one, we got the baby coming. And so
Of course.
we were like,
Right.
with the finances, let's shut it down and let's not be, just taking, extra trips. And then number two, because I'm leaving for Atlanta tonight, it would have been like, I would have got to do the floor yesterday, maybe this morning, and then would have had to fly home anyway.
Yeah.
And so it would have just been craziness. So I'm, it's okay that I would have done it,
Yeah.
but it stings a little bit, but it's okay.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, but I get to be here and gear up for 200 though.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So I'm excited about episode 200. I
Me
can't wait
too.
as the people trickle in who say they're coming and doing the room escape game.
Do we have a count yet?
Huh?
Do we have a full count of who's coming?
Well, no, because some people are coming but not doing room escape.
Right. How many do we have signed up for the room?
I think a little over 20.
Oh,
Wow. That's so
that's
awesome.
great, man.
It's gonna be awesome.
That's going to be legendary.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
By the release of this podcast, I mean, this will obviously release at like midnight or something tonight, but by 9 o'clock tomorrow, we have to cut it off, or on Thursday, whatever
The 16th.
the 16th, we got to cut it off, and I gotta call them and make the arrangements.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, woo! I can't wait. Oh
So
my gosh.
cool.
I'm
So
so
cool.
excited. So it'll be fun.
You got my money, right?
Yeah, I got your money.
Thank you.
And so we're gonna do it to it.
Man, I have my money.
Dirty, I got your money. Don't you worry.
Say hey.
Nice.
Well
That's
played,
awesome.
sir.
Oh my gosh.
So that's it for me, man. Just been watching them press conferences and loving every minute of it.
Nice.
Tim Router,
Yes, sir.
you got it.
Of course I've got it.
Let's do it.
All right, new releases this week. We'll go fast here because I know we got a lot to talk about. As Mr. Eduardo said, Trials of the Blood Dragon is out this week, PS4, Xbox One, PC. Also, The Elder Scrolls Online Dark Brotherhood, released for PS4, Xbox One. Ori and the Blind Forest, the definitive edition, is out for the PC and Xbox One. And Get Your Cycling Shoes On, Tour de France 2016 is out for the Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
That can't be fun.
Minecraft Wii U edition releases this week for the Wii U. Charts are pushed back just a little bit, but I wanted to give you this one because this was the week of Overwatch. So this is week of May 28th. This is U.S. brick and mortar. VG Charts better get out of their summer vacation and start bringing it because this is ridiculous.
They don't care, man.
But it's fun. I like it. Like, even if it's a few weeks back, that's fine. I like to see kind of where things are as far as gaming sales go anyway. So number 10, here we go. Gears of War, Xbox One. Number 9, MLB 16 The Show, PS4. Number 8, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants in Manhattan for the PS4 makes its debut. It only sold 23,000 units in its first week. Number 7, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, PS4.
Golly, that thing.
Number 6, Xbox One, Doom. Number 5, Doom for the PS4. Number 4, Uncharted 4 for the PS4. Number 3, Overwatch for the PC.
Oh, wow.
103,000 units on PC.
Wow.
Number 2, Overwatch Xbox One.
I wonder where they get their PC numbers, only because PC doesn't really...
It has to be just
their
like the...
their main thing is not physical.
I know.
They use this algorithm called guessing.
Yeah, very true.
Exactly.
Mr. VG rolls out of bed. I think this one's going to be number 3.
Because if
Yeah,
it's only
exactly.
brick and mortar, like, when's the last time you watched somebody buy a boxed
Do you
PC
think
game?
they have a deal with Steam or something like that? I don't know.
No. They do not.
VG charts?
VG charts.
No, they do not.
No.
I don't know.
They
They
how-
probably don't
don't.
even have a Netflix subscription.
Yes, sir.
We're hard on those guys.
Yeah. Well, if they don't release their charts, I mean, granted, it's a free service, but
Well, I'm just saying, like, the PC, like, that's the only
I
thing
know, I'm with
that
you.
confuses
Like,
me.
how are they getting that?
Yes.
Let me try and do some digging.
Unless Steam puts numbers up.
They might report it to them. I don't know.
No.
That's what
No,
I
I have
meant.
no
Like, do you
idea.
think that Steam reports this to them? Who knows? Anyway, number 2 was Overwatch for the Xbox One. They did 154,000 units in its debut. Number 1, Overwatch PS4, 219,000 units sold in its first week.
Wow.
Kudos to them.
Nice.
That is great.
I wasn't in the first week, but I did buy it.
Yep, there you go.
That's
We
awesome.
did have 2 oops.
No.
Yep.
What?
One from, thank you, Mr. Brett T. Bodden. He said, Hall's favorite Zelda game is not Ocarina of Time. It was A Link to the Past, and you are correct. I totally forgot that it was A Link to the Past.
Oh, okay.
So I'm glad people are holding us accountable because Hall's not here. At Arctic Warlocks, Gabe, you have been away from the Division game for some time now. So much so that there is no jumping in the game. Hashtag MTG.
Oh, yes.
MTG oops.
Yes, he means what I was talking about, it messing me up on Uncharted.
Yes, it did.
When I jump instead of crouch.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a vault over, and that's what I meant,
There you go.
which requires jumping.
There you go.
That's how I'm going to twist that into not an
You have to leave the ground, so it's the same.
Yeah,
diff.
your feet do have to leave the ground. And it still happens at the same place, like when I'm running up to cover, and then I hit jump, and he just jumps like straight in the air. I'm like, no,
awesome.
get down.
Hello.
So yeah, exactly. He's like, peekaboo.
I'm over here now. I'm over here now.
Oh my gosh.
That's good.
All right. So the normal way that we've usually rolled through E3 is Mr. Router has the breakdowns of each conference, and we just talk about it because that's really all that's going on. News kind of stalls out because all the news came out the last 3 days, and then this week everybody's playing the games on the floor, and then next week obviously will be a slow news week unless something crazy happens. So Mr. Router, you want to head us up on this thing?
Yes, sir. Let's start with the EA press conference on Sunday.
Which was, okay, so 1 out of 10, we'll give each conference a grade that we thought
Okay.
Okay.
as we go. EA.
Okay, so
I say 6.
EA. Yeah, 5 for me. It was flat.
Mm-hmm.
I give it a 6 just because I thought they did well, but they did a good job, but there wasn't really much there for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I give it a 5, but to be fair, I only watched like the last 20 minutes because I couldn't jump on right when it first started. So
Right. No, so I'll go through this really quickly just because I took really quick notes as I'm geeking out over everything. They started with Titanfall 2. It is now available for PS4. They had a multiplayer demo, and there's now also a single-player campaign for Titanfall
Hallelujah.
2, which is great.
Right.
And it releases October 28th. Then they went into Madden NFL 17.
Right.
And then they started getting into Mass Effect Andromeda, but there was nothing, kind of no substance to it. Like they just were talking about
know,
it. There's a new story, a new cast,
that.
and it's powered by Frostbite Engine. Great. We were like, and what do you have for us?
And they said that the storyline was you're trying to go colonize somewhere else.
Yes, in the
in
the Andromeda Galaxy, and I mean it's great, but I really wanted to see something out of it. But
I think I don't know if I text you guys or whatever, but I was like, I wonder how they're gonna work in Shepard somehow. They have to. Like, I wonder if he'll just be like DLC. Like, you know how you could make your own character.
Yep.
Like how Router made the blonde Puerto Rican guy.
Yes, sir.
Like I'm wondering if like they'll have patches where you can download and just play through as at least the Shepard look, whether boy or girl.
Yeah, that would be cool. They did announce their Play to Give campaign, which I thought was really cool. There are in-game challenges within some of their games that allow charitable donations. I thought that was really great.
Yeah, I didn't understand how that worked though.
Yeah, I guess we'll figure it out.
Find out.
I think it's just one of those things where you're playing. I don't know what games they are, and they didn't go into specifics, but you play games and any in-game. If there's any in-game transactions, they can go to charity. How that gets broken down into what charity, who knows? But at least it's a nice gesture. I like that.
Yeah.
Then they went into FIFA 17, of course. This one is The Journey, where you play Alex Hunter. That's their campaign, and you kind of start from the bottom. Now we're here. And go from there. I like
that.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Alex Hunter. I like the character. I think it's great. And then they also had announced that the coaches are now playable as well. And Jose
That's
Mourinho.
what I've always wanted to do, play a coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho came out and made a guest appearance, which I thought was pretty cool.
And that guy would not give up the fact that, like, when you have a guest on your stage,
But yeah, that's
usually you'd bow to, all right, yes, your team is awesome. He was like, yeah, until you come here to England.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he was a Liverpool fan, so he kept harping on him, like, dude, Jose's right here, just back off a little, slick.
Yeah, before you get tased.
That's right, exactly. Then they went into some EA originals. One of them was Fee, which was developed by a company called Zoink, I believe, and it's only 20 employees in Sweden.
That looks cool.
Which looked kind of interesting.
I like the art style.
Yeah, art style's a little bit different.
I liked the story of the developer more than
that's actually was my note, that I had nothing about the gameplay. It was developed by 20 guys from Sweden, which is really cool.
Yeah,
right.
And then they did discuss a little bit about Star Wars Battlefront. Visceral is developing a new game in 2018. It is a, quote, authentic Star Wars story. So I have no idea what that's going to be, and they didn't really say anything other than that. And then they played the Battlefield 1 trailer twice, right? Or the gameplay. There was something like they played
like
part of it, teased
Yeah.
it, and then talked about it, and then teased the exact same thing with a little bit more at the end. So, and that was pretty much EA. They went back and forth between LA and London, and it was just kind of meh for me.
I didn't like that. I didn't like the going back and forth.
Yeah, if you're gonna do a press conference, do it in one spot and go from there. But whatever.
Well, it just seemed like they were so long over in each place. So you were like, the guys in LA were just watching a screen, watching a screen, watching a screen, and then like, especially like through that whole soccer thing, like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
they are determined to make me interested in soccer.
Yeah, but that's huge right now, and it made sense over in London because Euro Cup has started this past weekend, and Euro Cup it is like the World Cup for Europe, so like they're all geeking out over it right now.
Exactly.
So that was it for the EA press conference. Overall, it was for me. Moving on to Bethesda. I will always forever say Bethesda now. I gave this one, I think, a 7.
Yeah, 7.5 for sure.
Yeah, I'd say a solid 7.
Yeah, 7 easy.
Yeah, the production looked really good. They did it in that huge hangar, which I thought was really cool.
Yes, that was so cool.
They started with Quake Champions, which I thought was interesting, and then they had a ton of new upgrades for Fallout 4.
Yeah, they did.
Which I'm still trying to figure out why I just bailed on that game, and
why didn't you like it?
I can't. I think it's just it was too much. for me. It just was overwhelming. I think that had to be it. It was too much.
Was Fallout 3 not like that?
I thought it was. I don't think it was as extensive as like building an entire town, but I remember I played the full campaign on 3 and had a good time with it. But I don't know.
You loved it.
Yeah, this was just different for me. I don't know why. It was weird.
Interesting.
They also are releasing Skyrim Remastered, which I thought, I mean, it looked beautiful. I did not see did anybody see a release date for that? I didn't.
I don't remember that.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing a release date.
I don't remember seeing a release date either. So that's happening. They also revealed a new game called Prey.
Yep.
Which
Prey.
Yes, which I thought was really interesting. Then they discussed Elder Scrolls Online and also revealed and announced Dark Brotherhood was available starting this week, and that was kind of Assassin's Creed-ish, I thought, which was pretty cool, where you get involved in a brotherhood of assassins.
There you go.
And then what I loved was that they took a lot of time with Dishonored 2.
Yeah.
November 11th, the new city is called Karnaca. They are using an engine called the Void Engine. I believe it's their own. They went into a lot of stuff. There is a lot of information that they're going to hit at you, I think, with this game. And there's a lot of different skills. You can play as Emily or as
the dad.
The dad. Yep. I think there's two options there.
Corvo?
Corvo. Thank you. Corvo.
Yeah.
And so they did the gameplay with Emily, I thought, and it looked really cool. And I think her skill tree is all new. Corvo, I think, still has some of his from the first one, but there are some really cool looking upgrades you can do. Like that domino effect looked really awesome.
You know, it's funny. Like for being a stealth game, they didn't show a lot of stealth.
No, that's the thing.
I know,
like,
that was weird. They kept killing everybody.
Exactly.
I was, and we had talked about that. We were kind of chatting while we were watching it, and I'm like, so I guess they're doing away with the non-lethal. Like, are you going to be? My question is, are you rewarded the same if you still go non-lethal versus lethal? Like, is it going to be a different ending like it was at the first one? But
they were be sticking with that.
It was such a big part of the first game.
I know, it was huge.
Yeah. I was thinking that maybe they just did it. I think I texted this to you guys. I was like, well, stealth doesn't make for a good trailer.
Yeah.
And so maybe they just had a bunch of violence and killing just because that's more exciting that way, you know?
Right.
But I mean, like that new perk of her being like devil whatever, that devil shadow, and
the shadow step,
and then
whatever.
ripping the dudes apart. I'm like, okay, that's non-lethal.
Yeah,
but that was awesome.
It was great. Yeah, it was amazing. So I'm excited for this game. This is definitely my game for the fall. I think it's kind of taking my Assassin's Creed void, and so this is a pre-order for me, definitely. And it definitely, like I think we talked about it too, the game looks a little bit more complicated than the first, I thought. Like there seems to be just a lot more that you can do, and that might be
with that time shifting thing.
Yeah, that could be a little overwhelming, but I don't know. Like I was a little nervous about Dishonored 2, but they kind of ease you into it, which I thought was which was great with that game. So,
and I have to say, this is one of the coolest looking collector's editions for this game.
Oh my gosh,
that does look cool.
That thing looks sick. And I mean, in terms of collector edition pricing, it's actually very cheap. It's only $100, and it comes with all the cool trinket stuff and the mask.
You got a mask.
But it also comes with a definitive version of the previous game.
Yes, which is
I never get that stuff.
Until
and I
now.
might have to get that one.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah, no, that looks really cool.
I mean, that mask looks so dope. And I love Dishonored, the first one.
Yep.
It would look so sick on my shelf right now. I haven't pulled the trigger, but I'm very seriously considering it.
Yep. Let's move on to Monday and the Microsoft press conference. I gave this one a 9.
Yeah.
Microsoft,
they came out guns blazing, in my opinion.
I give it an 8.5.
I go 8.5 too. I'm with Ed.
Okay. So they started.
Very good showing.
Yeah, they started with the announcement of the Xbox One S. I didn't get any of this. Does anybody have specs on it?
Like dimensions?
I don't think that it's different, except that it's
It's basically a
4K
slim
DVD, 4K DVD, way smaller internal.
with a controller.
Well, the internal, what's the name? It's 40%. The internal, what is it called?
The
The power supply?
The GPU?
No, the power supply. So it's not on the cord.
Yeah, the
anymore.
power supply is integrated into the system.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It doesn't have a power brick anymore.
Right. And then 40% smaller.
Yep.
Me and Chris, was it me and you talking, Chris?
Yes.
Because we were doing the video.
Yeah, the live
And when
react.
When it said 40% smaller, we were both like, "What? That's way
crazy.
smaller."
Hey, it's no longer a VCR. It's a DVD player.
Yeah, and you look at it and you're like, it really doesn't look that much smaller. And then they showed that diagram where it was there and they had the dimensions of the old one and it shrunk down. We're like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, it's that much smaller?
Yeah.
It looks sexy. It looks really nice.
It did. And white.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So kudos to them. And then, of course, they came out guns blazing with Gears of War 4. They had some serious gameplay coming out October 11th. And, man, that makes me want to play this game, definitely.
That looked nice.
Looked really cool.
Oh, that thing looked rowdy, man. I was ready for that.
The
windy.
wind physics.
Right?
But, dude, the wind physics looked incredible because they were banking shots off of it. And that was like, oh, that's cool. So I was really impressed with Gears. That was great. And then
to bring the old guy back at the very end, like the guy from the first Gears.
Marcus.
You see him at the very end of the trailer.
Yes.
Thought that was really sick.
And then they went right into Killer Instinct. They are adding General Rom from Gears of War to the lineup. So that was cool. Then they went into Forza Horizon 3, which is set in Australia, and they did some world gameplay premiere. That was pretty cool.
And we have to talk about too that they announced pretty early on the whole what was it called, like Microsoft Everywhere or something like that, where you buy games on the Xbox One and you also get them for your PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes.
pretty much every game was Xbox One and Windows 10.
Yeah,
Yes.
what was it called?
I think it was called Xbox Anywhere.
I think Xbox
I don't know the
Anywhere.
actual name of it. I don't remember.
Yeah, I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. Weird.
I think it was Xbox Anywhere. That sounds right.
Yep. And then they went into Recore, which
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought Recore looked sick.
You like that?
Yeah, I did.
What was it? I totally blanked. Well, I don't remember it.
It's the one with the
She's in the
orbs
desert
inside the
and
Like the
machines.
mechanical dog looking.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It kind of looks like it's their version of Horizon.
Yeah. Very
Yeah,
much so.
except in a desert, and the most aside from the little dog character, most of the robots look more robot-y. They don't necessarily look like animals.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're not mechy. They're more robot.
And it looks a little bit more lighthearted maybe than Horizon does.
Yeah, Horizon's definitely more. It seems
It's
like a more
serious.
intense, kind of serious thing.
Yep.
This seemed a little more playful, but still like hardcore in a way that like there's going to be. You're really gonna have to focus on what you're doing. It's not going to be just I'm throwing things at this thing.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Then they went into Final Fantasy 15 for Gabe.
Yeah, they did.
Oh yeah.
Just for Gabe.
And for Chris maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you think?
Wow.
I don't know. It's intriguing me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
That was
Got
cool.
him.
those
The-
bosses are
got it.
huge.
The demo was cool. That you played against the Goliath arm, which was weird. It was just an arm kind of floating around. But that comes out available September 30th. Man, this fall is going to be packed. Woo!
Right.
Then they went into the Division Underground Expansion Pack, which I think there's 3 new suits or something like that. I don't remember.
It felt like they were in and out on that quick.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It was just like, the Division, we got Underground Expansion Pack, blah, blah, blah. No, well, they did the didn't they do the survival part? No, that's Ubisoft. Never mind. We'll get into that later. Then they went into Battlefield 1. Xbox One owners can play first on October 13th with EA Access, and then it's available to everyone October 21st. Then they went into Xbox Live, which they've basically beefed up their network to make it more reliable. There are now clubs on Xbox Live, which is kind of like communities. And then you can look for a group to find other gamers of kind of your style.
LFG.
Yeah, Chris, too, break that down just a little bit, because I remember I didn't really know too much about Look for Group until Destiny came along, and when we were on the road with Matt Marr, and he would be like, "Hey, did you see this website?" and kind of explain to me the whole LFG thing. Can you break it down for those that might not know?
Different games, typically multiplayer games. There's different websites that have sprung up where it'll be they call it LFG, but it's just short for looking for group. And it's where you can go in, you can type in your gamer tag or create an account and show what platform you play on and say, hey, I'm wanting to play, like in Destiny is where I've used it in the past. It'll be like, I'm wanting to do the Vault of Glass raid on this day at this time. Is anybody available? And it's usually pretty responsive to where you can literally, like if you're trying to do the task right now, you can hit it up and then usually people will start jumping in. So it's just another avenue. Like if you're somebody who is, getting into gaming, but you don't have a lot of real life friends that play games, you're like, man, I want to play this multiplayer, who's he, what's it, and I need other people to play with. You can just go on there and do that. But it's always been part of a third party thing. So you have to go on your iPad or your laptop or whatever and go to a website and do it. It looks like they're going to try to integrate some type of, looking for group actually inside Xbox Live. So I don't know if it's going to be, because Xbox can do the snap. It may be just like a dedicated app where they can snap it real quick, type it out, and see who they can get. I don't know if it'll be integrated into the games. They didn't really give a lot of details. But
no, they didn't.
It's
just
cool
kind of
that they can do it. Yeah, it's cool that you'll be able to do it right there, or you have the option to do it right there. Not to mention, if you're doing it on the Xbox, then you're guaranteed like the other people that are signed in are already on Xbox ready to go. It's not like, wait, what platform? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on PC or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good. I like this because it's integrating into the entire Xbox community. So, I mean, kudos to them. They're taking this seriously, and they're adding these features. Arena was another thing on Xbox Live that they're including, and EA is going to bring it.
Cool too.
I loved that,
and they're going to bring EA's.
Thing.
I think they partner with EA to bring in a ton of games to the Arena too. So that was really great.
Yeah, I think tournament bracket will be so sick.
Yeah.
Like, I was when they were bringing that up, I was like, what a great idea, just because there's not an easy way to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not on PC, there's not an easy way for a lot of games to set that kind of stuff up.
Yep.
And to follow it like bracket style.
Exactly. How sick. That's going to be awesome. And it seems like they're taking their time with it, because it's not like, and you can do all this today. It was like, it's coming in the fall.
Yeah.
Still, right?
Exactly. So they're still developing it, and kudos to them, though. That's great. And then they went into Minecraft.
Oh my gosh, best thing ever.
Yeah, it's great.
Dude,
so
that was like painful for me for some strange reason.
It was just painful in general. But so they came out with the friendly update. They now have dedicated servers that host your own worlds, and friends can play on them even when you're not online. They had Minecraft Realms, which were available immediately. There are new texture packs, and the add-ons are coming this fall.
Plus Gear VR support.
Yes, Gear VR support. And
Gabe's downloading it right now.
Yeah, exactly. And you could play across, what was it, the Xbox, the
iOS, PC.
iOS, Android.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And then I like this, the Xbox wireless controller. You design it and they create it.
That was kind of cool.
That was neat.
That is really cool. Great idea. And that's kind of just a little value-added piece for all of you who want to
pay $100 for a controller.
It's like $80, and then if you want to inscribe it with your name or gamer tag or whatever, I think it adds $10 on top of that.
Yeah, fine by me. That works.
Yep.
And then they released Inside, which is from the creators of Limbo. It's available June 29th, and they're offering
about dang time.
And they're offering Limbo free on Xbox One right now. So
I'm excited about that game. I'm going to play it.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
Didn't show too much about what it was, though. But I mean,
well, that's because they've shown it a lot. They've shown it like 2 different E3s before this one, I believe. So
I don't remember that at all. Well, there you have it.
Yeah. Either last year or the year before, they had a much bigger kind of. They didn't have like a real gameplay demo. It was just a longer trailer where you kind of saw a little bit of the mechanics.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
They also discussed Xbox Game Preview, which was kind of it sounded like it was kind of like an alpha, but it was a way for developers and gamers to kind of discuss the game and give and offer feedback. And I think that's a great idea. It should happen anyway, and that's usually what alphas and betas are for too, to gain feedback. But this sounds like it's a little more than that. Like it seems more intimate with the developers, in that you're selected, and then you can play the games and then work with the developers on what you did.
Yeah, I didn't understand what the preview program was.
Well, I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% on this, because I've not done it. The only game right now available on it is Ark Survival Evolved, which has actually been part of the Xbox preview program for a while now.
Right.
But it's similar, I believe, in Steam's early access, where you're actually paying for the game, or you're paying for a portion of the game or something like that. And you get the game early, knowing that it's in a state where, hey, this game may have bugs, it may have issues, but just so you know, you're paying to get an early access to it. And then whenever the game actually fully releases, at least on the Xbox side, I think you pay for it in full, or it's like a down payment in a way, or something like that. Right. I'm not 100% sure on the transaction part, but that's basically what it is you're getting you could call it an alpha or some kind of beta, but it's an extended, and it usually will run up until the game's actual release. And you're supposed to, or you're not supposed to, but you have the option to give feedback and kind of tell your thoughts and everything like that. And they are fixing the game as it goes.
Yep.
Interesting.
And then they announced We Happy Few, which is from Compulsion Games. And we saw
They do not know how to use a pinata.
No, they did not at all.
That game was awesome, though. And I'm excited. They actually, I think they announced that originally last year and had just a little bit about it. And it didn't really hit my radar very much, but then this demo for sure was like, wow, that looks intriguing to me. I'm very interested.
Very BioShock Infinite.
Very much so.
Like,
yeah,
I thought the same thing.
I have a note here that says very BioShock Infinite-esque, which I thought was really interesting. A little trippy, a little creepy, but I mean, it looks interesting. July 26th, it will be on Xbox Game Preview. So it looks like gamers can pay to basically buy into the early development of it. And then what we all were waiting for, CD Projekt Red announces Gwent, full-blown game, full-blown multiplayer experience, and a single-player campaign coming this September. You can sign on to Play Gwent, register at playgwent.com to try and get the beta for that.
And I did do that.
Yes, and this is definitely a rival of Hearthstone, I think. I'm really, actually, I wasn't a huge fan of it in-game, but I will probably play this because it's so much fun, and it looks like they're really taking it seriously. And
so here's the question. Is it going to be free?
Oh, I doubt it.
Oh, I doubt it. I
wouldn't think
pay
so.
for it.
Yeah, I think you'll have to pay for it.
They should make that thing free. It would go crazy.
Oh, they would go crazy. It would go nuts. But
because they talk so much about the lengthy offline or single player campaign, that makes me think that it's not going to be a free to play game.
I think well, here's what I think it's going to be. I don't know, man. I think it might be more tablet and mobile focused, don't you?
Well, that's the thing. They didn't mention if it was going to be on mobile yet.
Exactly right.
And I told Gabe when we were watching, I was like, because I haven't played Witcher, and I was like, I've heard you talk about Gwent.
Yep.
I will totally give this a shot.
Yep.
But regardless of how it is, I hope it eventually comes to mobile. Because like when it comes to Hearthstone, my preferred way to play is on my iPad.
I couldn't agree more. Exactly right.
I'll play it on the console. I too signed up for the beta to like give it a shot if I get in. But eventually, somewhere down the road, I'm hoping it does come to mobile. Because if I end up liking it, I want to play it on my iPad.
And I'm the same way. I don't like using my console just to play card games. I want full-blown experiences. So this is definitely something that belongs on mobile tablet. And so if they put that on there, man, that's my next Hearthstone. And that will be crack. It'll be awesome.
If it's going to be free and they didn't announce it, they missed a huge applause break.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Then from
they were just making up for all the other times they paused for applause. And it didn't happen.
Yeah. The awkward, and then they like clear their throats or they like swallow them.
Yeah.
It's just crickets. Tekken 7, Bandai Namco announced Tekken 7. There's a free Tekken tag tournament, I think, throughout the week that they're doing. So that was interesting. Then they announced Dead Rising 4, which is coming holiday 2016, which is extremely specific. And then they went into Microsoft Studios Publishing. They announced Scalebound and had some gameplay. That will be available in 2017. The VO on that was horrible. But I mean, it looked kind of interesting. It was weird. Scalebound and the Final Fantasy 15 kind of looked similar, sort of. It was kind of like the same scope where you have this behemoth that you have to take down. But I mean, it looked kind of cool. It looked like there was It looked like it had co-op to it, and
But Final Fantasy 15 did not have them headphones. What up?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
That was that was corny.
I was like, what's he got headphones on?
Yeah, it was
And
very.
he puts them on. Let's get serious, or whatever he said.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Oh, Japan.
And then Sea of Thieves from Rare, a pirate adventure style game. Yeah, cool, great.
You were looking forward to that one, Chris.
I think it looks cool, but I don't understand completely what it is. It looks
Yeah.
MMO-ish in a way.
It's too cartoony for me. Like if you're
I don't mind the cartoony stuff. That actually, in a way, for me, adds to it because I feel like I don't really want a realistic pirate game necessarily. It looks more fun that way, but it looks like it's going to be completely reliant on you playing with friends, and I don't think I'm going to know enough people on Xbox that are playing this game.
Well, that's why you got that LFG, baby.
Oh,
there
snap.
you go. Look at that.
Yeah, I guess.
Mic drop.
Look at that.
It did look like Tales of Monkey Island, is what I was telling Chris when we were watching it. I was like, oh, it kind of feels reminiscent of those old cartoon games.
Oh, there you go.
They were
Tales of
definitely
Monkey Island
pushing
was
the, it's going to be so much fun to play with your friends aspect. They were
Yeah.
definitely pushing that hard.
Yeah,
I was like, who's all these people with all these friends?
right. I don't even have that many friends.
Real people. What?
Moving on was State of Decay 2, which is coming 2017.
I thought that looked cool.
Yep, it did look good. Halo Wars 2, February 21st, 2017.
Yes. What's up with that demo?
Yeah, there's a demo right now on Xbox Live. I downloaded it last night, and it lasts until June 20th.
I need to get that.
Yeah, I
beta.
downloaded it and forgot I did.
Yeah, I did it last night before going to bed, so I haven't played it yet.
Nice.
It's one of the demos that I want to make sure I play before it goes away.
And it didn't pop up right away. Remember, because we were talking about it after the, usually like the Shenmue thing when they did last year, like was kind of already available. But me and Chris were both looking for that demo. We were like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? When did you finally see it pop, Chris?
I just logged on again at one point last night and checked again, and it was there.
Must have taken a little while.
I don't know when it popped up. And then the same thing with the I'll talk about it when we get to it.
Okay.
All right.
And then they come out with Project Scorpio. Holiday 2017. They had a whole montage about this new console, right? Is that?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a new console.
6 teraflops of power, 4K gaming VR performance.
Yep.
And that thing looks like a beast.
It's going to be nasty, that's for sure.
I was pretty impressed. I mean, they are. It was very interesting to see Microsoft kind of take a more hardware approach versus their normal software approach, and they're going all in. So I was really impressed with Project Scorpio. Phil Spencer comes out and he says that basically Xbox One, Xbox One S, Project Scorpio will all be compatible, and the place went nuts, and that's pretty much how they ended it.
So here's my question. Why buy the S?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Unless Scorpio is more for VR.
No, but it's just going to be more powerful and more, so it seems like why buy the one in the meantime if you have one?
Right.
Yeah. As long as mine keeps working, I've got no incentive. Personally,
There's no incentive for me either.
Yeah. Would there be a reason, Chris? Can you think of a reason to buy both?
Well, they very much beat home the narrative that we were hearing about all the rumors with Neo on the PlayStation side as well, but they're beating home the narrative that if you have Scorpio or if you have the Xbox One S or the original Xbox One, they're all going to play the same games. You're going to get the same games. You're not going to get left behind. Where they didn't specifically say this, but they alluded to, like, if a game comes out, it's not going to be Project Scorpio only. It's going to be across all of them.
No, they didn't allude to it. They did say it. They basically said that no gamer's going to be left behind. That you'll have the same gaming experience. Just it's going to be it sounded like it's going to be a little bit different depending on what you've got.
What I meant by they didn't specifically say it is they did not come out and say there will be no Scorpio only games.
Right? Yes, you are correct.
So I'm going to assume that that's the narrative they're trying to beat, but I don't want to say that definitively since they didn't say it. But the thing is the way that they talked about Scorpio and everything they said about it, and they did say this is going to be a premium product, that thing is going to cost bank.
Yes, it will.
I personally, I mean, granted, it's a year and a half away, so prices can come down and all that stuff like that. I'm fully expecting a $650, maybe more console.
I think you're right.
And they are gonna tout it as a premium console, and people know that now. So if you're knowing, man, even a year and a half from now, I'm not going to be able to afford a $600-700 console, then you can buy the Xbox One S right now, and you don't have to worry about like, oh, but I'm going to get left behind in the cold, because there's going to be a ton of people that are like Ed, where it's like, I don't need the latest specs and all that stuff. I just want to play the games. So you have the Xbox One S right now at a $299 price point for a 500 gigabyte hard drive that you can get. And whenever the Scorpio comes out in a year and a half, you're not going to be left behind. You're not going to be like, all right, my Xbox One S is already obsolete. They're trying to tell you it's not going to be obsolete. It's still going to work. Which, by the way, is the same narrative all the Neo specs things were saying, and people were freaking out. So it's kind of weird to see the script flipped. But I'm happy for it because I like the idea.
So what is the advantage of buying the new one then? Is it just a shorter load screens? I don't get why.
Yeah,
the new console is more for people who have not bought an Xbox One yet, because it's cheaper, it's smaller, which people complained about the size of the Xbox One. They're not trying necessarily to get people who already own an Xbox One to upgrade to an Xbox One S.
No, there's no reason. It's a lateral move. That's all it is.
Yeah, they're just trying to get more people to buy in. And they're saying, buy the new Xbox One S. It's a new model. It has all this stuff built in. It's smaller, and it's not for the other people.
Well, what is it? I'm sorry. I meant like this for the Scorpio. What's, if you don't have an Xbox One, why would you buy a Scorpio as opposed to I'll just get the cheaper one if it plays all the same games?
Because there are a lot of people out there, and I'll put myself in this camp, that they want the best that they can get. They want the 4K resolution gaming. They want a solid 60 frames per second. They want to have as much power as they can. They want to be able to plug in their Oculus into a console because they can't afford a $1,500 PC. And this is going to give them that option.
But here's the thing. I still think you're in the minority, Chris, because I don't care about that stuff at all. I just want to play the game.
I'm not saying that is a majority.
But
I'm saying there is absolutely a market for it.
Here's the problem, though, is that they're going to, number one, us regular Xbox people are going to be left behind.
Yes.
Let's not fantasize that they're not.
No.
Like the stuff that they're going to do
on
new
people.
The stuff that they're going to do on the Scorpio, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, but have you played it on the Scorpio? On the Scorpio, you get to do this, and this in the game.
Yeah,
and then we're going to be getting the dumbed down version.
Absolutely.
Of the game.
Do not kid yourselves. When Scorpio is released and when all these brand new games are getting demoed and, the IGNs of the world are saying, and here's our review, they're all going to be played on Scorpio. They are not going to be played on Xbox One.
No, they will not.
They'll probably be touching me like, this game looks awesome, and I did play it on Xbox One, and it works. That's how it's going to be.
Exactly.
Yep.
And the other thing is, I feel like they're splitting the market a little bit to be announcing Scorpio and the fact that you're going to be able to play all your games on Windows 10. It jacks it up a little bit because the gaming PC guys are going to be like, oh, well, never mind on having to buy an Xbox.
Yeah. I think it could potentially be the kiss of death for them, because when you start splitting markets like that, then you're not gravitating to your core audience, to the core people that are they're gonna follow Xbox One, like the diehard fans. You're gonna start splitting hairs. When you split hairs, I think it gets a little dicey.
I don't think it's gonna split. I don't think it'll be the death of them, and I'll explain why. I think it's more of a gamble, the fact that they're releasing everything on PC as well as Xbox, because those are really two completely different markets. Now, they are trying to make them basically the same thing, but here's kind of the way that I look at it. Like, a lot of people have mentioned about like, oh, well, if you have an upgraded console and then you have this one and they're all on the market on the same time, like, you're going to split your player base and blah, 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 blah. And there's that potential, but I look at it very much like this. When a movie comes out, you can buy it on DVD, or you can buy it on Blu-ray, or you can buy it now on UHD Blu-ray. It's the same movie, but you can have it in standard definition, you can have it in 1080p, or you can have it in 4K. If you're one of those nuts that's like, man, I'm a pixel peeper, I got a 4K TV, I want the best I can get, you can go and buy that, and you're going to pay a premium for it, especially while it's new. But if you're like, man, I got this banging 1080p TV and it works just fine, I'm cool with just a Blu-ray. And then you get those, mom and pops that are like, I still got my CRT monitor, and they'll just get, the DVD because they don't care. That's the way that this is going to be. And I'm excited for it because I like having the best that I can get. Now, I can't always have that, but if I can have something, that's cool. And specifically with the Xbox Scorpio, all the VR talk is cool to me because I'm the token VR guy that's very interested in it at the moment. And I don't have a PC. Like, I'm a Macintosh person or whatever. And I thought about, like, man, maybe I should build a PC or whatever. And then I could try out some of this even better, more premium VR experiences. But if I can buy an Xbox Scorpio and I can plug in an Oculus or a Vive to it and it'll work, I'm good. I'll buy it just for that reason.
Yeah, you're done.
But it's definitely still not the best you can get if you're that guy.
Yeah, it's not going to be the absolute best I can get, but
but it'll work.
It's a step up. Like, because I'm a console person, which is kind of weird to say. Like, I enjoy controllers. I don't want to do a mouse and keyboard and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Interested in it.
Yep.
So out of the console space, I'll be able to have an option to get the best I can on the Xbox side, assuming I can afford it. You know?
There you go.
Yeah. All right, let's keep this moving. But that's some great conversation. This is going to be very interesting for Microsoft.
What are you doing to us?
I know, that's right. So we're going to be talking about this for the next year until Scorpio comes out anyway. I think it's really interesting. Kudos to them for at least, making that announcement, trying to push their products, even further, which I thought was good. Ubisoft. It was a 2-hour-long event. That
is crazy.
I was like, wow. Well, it's their 30-year birthday apparently, so they kind of went all out. Our girl Aisha came out again. They did a whole dance number in the beginning to announce Just Dance 2017, which is coming out in October. They did say something about Orlando, which I thought was really touching. And then boom, went right into Ghost Recon Wildlands, which looks really cool, actually.
That looks really nice.
So I can't believe I missed Ubisoft. I totally forgot they were on.
Solo or 4-player co-op.
Nice.
March 7th, 2017. Man, that looks really cool. I might actually be in on that. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then went right into South Park. Trey Parker, Matt Stone came out. They did a couch interview. So they're coming out with a new one called The Fractured Butthole. Which is awesome. I think I want to play that game because it looks so funny.
I can't wait.
I heard Stick of Truth was incredible.
Yeah,
actually.
I did
too. So much fun.
So it comes out December 6th. If you buy the Fractured Butthole, you will get the Stick of Truth for free. So
you can play it now.
And you can play it now, which I think is great. So I may pre-order that because everybody needs a little Matt and Trey in their lives.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. You have to pre-order it to get the...
Pre-order.
Yeah, just want to make sure.
Yep. You pre-order it. So that comes December 6th. Then they went into a little bit more about the Division, the Underground expansion pack. Comes out June 28th for the Xbone and PC. Comes out August 2nd for the PS4. So we have a little delay there. There are 3 exclusive.
I think I'm done with that game.
Yeah. You done?
I think I'm done with the Division. Yeah.
There are 3 exclusive outfits in honor of Ubi's 30th birthday, free if you are part of the Ubisoft Club. And they're also doing an expansion pack called Survival Expansion 2. That actually looked kind of interesting. They did like a little gameplay trailer for it, which I thought was pretty cool. Boom, then went right into some VR for our boy Chris with Eagle Flight, which was a PvP. They did a PvP demo, which is like a capture the flag kind of a thing, but it was a capture the prey kind of thing, where you're an eagle, you grab prey, and you have to drop it off at a zone, and people are shooting at you. Your teammates are rallying around you, and you're playing against other people who are trying to do the exact same thing. It was actually pretty cool.
It looked pretty fun. I would play that if it wasn't VR.
Yeah, I think I would too. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Nice. And then they went into Star Trek Bridge Crew, which is the VR game. They had LeVar Burton, Carl Urban, Jerry Ryan all playing the game, and
no way.
Yeah, it was.
They did.
It wasn't live. It was pre-recorded, of course.
Yeah.
But then LeVar Burton.
I'm gonna have to download the Ubisoft press conference.
Yeah,
and watch
you should watch it. And then LeVar Burton did come out, and Aisha and him they chatted for a little while. It looks kind of interesting. You are basically on the crew, and you have different assignments that you can do, and it's all in VR.
I just love that they're all sitting down with their VR headsets on, playing a game in which they're all just sitting down.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it was just like, okay, so you're going to sit down and you just push a bunch of knobs and buttons. Great. Yeah. Awesome.
I didn't realize that South Park was called The Fractured Butthole.
Yes.
Correct.
Fractured Butthole, yes. BUT, and then space WHOLE. Yeah, which I thought was awesome. And then they went into For Honor. There is a single-player campaign as well as a multiplayer campaign. February 14th, 2017. And what they showed, dude, that looked really fun. That looked kind of cool. Like the fighting
Dang it, I can't
mechanics
believe
of
I
it.
missed all this.
I thought
Tell me about it
were
because
really great.
I didn't get to watch the Ubisoft conference. I just saw a quick little 2-minute rundown. So tell me a little bit about it.
So you can play a Viking, you can play a samurai, or you can play what's the third one? Viking, samurai, or
Like a knight or something?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
like a knight. And so they did a single campaign where you were a Viking and you bring all of your troops on the ships out to sea, and you do a beach landing, and you go in and basically invade. And you are kind of like this huge. The Viking leader is this huge dude swinging this massive battle axe, and
Wow.
it was really cool, man. It was like a combination of like Bloodborne, and it wasn't like it's hard to describe. Definitely go see it. But I was kind of excited with it. I'm not a huge kind of a fighting style game. When they first announced it last year, I was like, no, because it's all multiplayer and it's just, whatever. But now that they've added the single player campaign, I think it looks pretty cool. So you're trying to go in and conquer the castle, and then you fight the big boss samurai commander at the end. And yeah, it was just really cool. Very adrenaline, very masculine, very just in your
Very
face.
testosterone.
Very testosterone, exactly. Then Ubisoft announced Grow Up, which I didn't take any notes on.
Yeah.
And
I didn't get into the first game. What was it? Grow something?
Grow
Yeah.
home?
Grow home. Yeah.
right?
Go home. So they also did Grow Up. Great. And then as Ed put together and played this week, they released Trials of the Blood Dragon, which is out now, which I thought was really cool. Then they didn't discuss any new Assassin's Creed game, but they brought out the producer.
Producer Frank Marshall.
Frank Marshall, thank you, of Assassin's Creed movie. Comes out December 21st. They showed you a little bit more of some behind the scenes, as well as just a few more cutscenes from the movie. And then, boom, went into Watch Dogs 2. You are part of DedSec, which is a hacking group. Your character is Marcus Holloway. It comes out November 15th.
How did it look?
What's that?
How did it look?
Amazing.
A great
Really?
parkour.
Yeah, you are in San Francisco. They did some gameplay. Man, it
Parkour.
looked really good.
It has parkour.
Yeah.
Yes. So Jim
Oh,
Ryan
man.
from Sony came out, and they made an announcement that Watch Dogs is going to get a feature film coming soon. And
Oh, wow.
so it will be the next video game movie, and so Ubisoft has partnered with Sony to do that. And then they also announced that PS4 owners will have access to all the DLC 30 days before release if they pre-order Watch Dogs 2.
Huh.
So I thought that was interesting. It was very weird to see Sony come out like they basically said, "Hey, we're going to partner with Sony this time." And
Hey, like what are you guys doing here?
yeah, it was a little interesting. And then they released a new IP for Ubisoft called Steep. It's from their developers, which reside right in the Alps of France. And it's very like a snowboarding, wingsuit, skiing kind of a game where
Nice.
you can kind of run the course and then share it with your friends, and your friends can run the same course. And it's kind of a social, competitive game. It apparently ships this December. And
Sick.
it looked kind of cool.
Little SSX action.
Yeah, something
Throwback.
similar. So, and that was pretty much Ubisoft. And then we get into Sony, of course. And
now.
boys, you want to take it away? Or you want me to just keep going?
Man, people were hating on the symphony.
I freaking
People
loved,
who was hating on the symphony?
loved
I don't
the
know, but I
symphony.
saw people like, why are people hating on the symphony? I was like, are you kidding me? Oh, it was in the chat on, if you watched it on the PlayStation Sony site.
Yeah.
Who,
I guess
who
they had
watches
chat
it with
going
chat?
Oh,
Yeah, I
I
know,
shut
exactly.
that off
All right.
so
I
fast.
will go on YouTube, like when there's a live stream or Twitch or whatever, and the popular people, like that chat thing is scrolling so fast. It's like, how do you make any sense of this thing?
I
I don't
just
even
hide
pay
it.
attention to it.
It's the
I don't
first thing I
understand.
click off.
It's like when it's that much chat, I don't get it.
Me neither.
So the composer comes out, they start everything. It's very like ominous. Curtain rises, and we get an old Kratos or something. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it was awesome, and the place went nuts. It was really cool to announce
God of War.
God of War.
Yep.
That's it. Like just God of War. It's not like God of War 4
Chris,
or anything.
Yes.
Explain.
All right, so I'm still not 100% on what's going on. I did some digging around, saw a couple different interviews and things with Cory Barlog. He has a post on the PlayStation blog because my whole thing was, is this Kratos from the other games and he's just now in a different setting, or is it like a reboot? And he mentioned that it was kind of like, it basically was in a way a reboot, that it's not, he's different, but all those things that he said pointing to it's the same Kratos. It actually is the guy who did all the other stuff. It's a new area for him. So I have to believe the reason they're being so cagey about it is that it's probably going to be to some extent explained throughout the game. But you're going to be playing some other things that I read. You're going to be playing with your son throughout the whole game.
No.
That's what I heard.
Dang
But
it.
no, I had the same reaction you guys did. But seriously, every person that I read that had like a little bit of a preview, behind closed doors preview of this game that mentioned that, all said that they had a blast with the game and they were really intrigued with it.
Okay.
So
I can't have him being mean to the kid the whole game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did shoot him in the arm, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say this. For Kratos, or at least Kratos of old, he was not being mean. He was actually very tempered. And,
He was being Kratos.
Yeah, he was very much a different Kratos, a more toned down Kratos.
Well, he's taming
realistic
his
Kratos.
tongue for sure. He's taming his tongue.
And and
Yes.
trying to be. That the one part where he like takes a deep breath and then says no. Yeah, like that was really cool. I'm like, oh, Kratos is trying to be a dad. This is pretty amazing. But man, I loved it. I thought it looked incredible, and I don't play
thought it
any
looked
of those
great.
games. So
I was going to say, it's going to be it definitely looks and feels different. Like the perspective of the camera, everything is totally
And
different from the previous God of War.
and I like that. Yeah, I definitely like that. That's definitely more my style.
And rate Sony before we get too far.
9.
I'm going 10.
Yeah. I'm going 9.
8.5 as well.
I'm going 9 because it was shorter, and at first I thought that Microsoft had won the press conference, but I actually watched a little bit more of the Sony again, and I'm like, Sony came out guns blazing with just games. It was just all games. That was, I think, that was the kicker for me. Like, man, to me, just in summary of this, like Microsoft and Sony were pretty well even. They both came out guns blazing, which I thought was great. That's what I wanted to see. Like, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Me and Chris talked about that Microsoft probably won hardware,
Yes.
Sony won software.
Yes. I think that's a fair assumption.
Which I think the software is more important.
Yeah, I agree.
BT-dubs.
I agree.
Yeah.
So anyway, after God of War, they went into Days Gone. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's when my cable cut out, so I had to reset my router, and so I missed the some of it. But and then so honestly, I didn't take as good of notes because I knew you guys were doing it. So maybe you take it away from here because I kind of lost some of it.
So they went into Days Gone, which was great.
That looks really good.
Yeah, and it was interesting because they went into it and kind of showed a preview and then stopped it and then came back to it at the end of the conference. And
Yeah, they
showed
definitely
gameplay.
went in more depth at the end.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting the way they did that. I was like,
do you think that was intentional, or do you think that was a glitch?
No. I think it was intentional. I just didn't know why they did it.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a weird way to lay it out.
I feel like the way that the reason that they did it that way is because their whole conference was pretty much the same in that they were just hitting you with trailer after trailer after trailer after demo after trailer. But even the quote demos are really more just like trailers. And I think they wanted to give you the time to really showcase Gone Days, but they didn't want to break that pacing. They're like, we'll just stick this at the end. That's what I feel like the reason that they did it.
Yeah.
And then next up, and we were screaming at the computer, The Last Guardian.
Yes.
And we said, if you don't give us a date this year, I quit.
Yep.
I quit you, Sony.
I quit you, Sony.
So they showed some more The Last Guardian. October 25th.
Yep.
Yes.
2016. Finally a date. We were like, don't give us a season. Don't give us a quarter. Don't give us a month.
Yep.
Give us a day. October 25th. I think freaking Stancil has had this pre-ordered for 6 years now
Nice.
on Amazon.
Nice.
Then they went into some Horizon.
Oh, yes.
And I need you guys to boost me up a little bit. For some reason, I'm like, on Horizon. And I
Yeah,
don't
me
know
too.
why. You are too, Ed?
Yeah.
Just a little
Interesting.
underwhelmed, right?
Well, and I'm just in general, I'm not really into the whole fantasy thing, so that's just not my flavor.
Yeah, see,
Interesting.
that's me. These are two gentlemen that didn't finish The Witcher 3 either, and I did. So if you like the Witcher style, like this is
Right.
totally up your alley, and it's with mechs instead. So,
I can see why people like it. It just doesn't hit me.
You know what kind
Yeah,
of
it didn't
hit
hit
me?
me
I
either.
thought the VO was a little off. It sounded kind of cheesy.
What do you mean by off?
It sounded really cheesy. And like she
Interesting.
wasn't looking like she wasn't when the guy was talking to her, like I didn't think that she was actually looking at her. She was looking up more, and it looked weird, and it sounded weird to me. But
Interesting.
the actual the combat part and the gameplay part, I was all in, man. That was great. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, I think it
Nice.
looks great. And this is a demo that, like, an area that we've not seen before in any of the gameplay demo stuff. Now,
Yeah.
granted, it doesn't look super different from what we have seen before, but it showed more in a different area. It showed how, she needed to get to this area, but she knew if she went over here, she could get, quote, a vehicle. Of course, it was a
Broadhead. That's what they called
kind
it.
of
Yeah.
looking like a longhorn
Right.
in a way. That you can make these choices and you go around. You could see her switching between the different weapons as she was attacking and picking up things to upgrade different things. Whenever that one, I don't remember the term she used, but that one dinosaur or animal, if you will, the mech animal, where she took it and it was like corrupted, so she was able to kill it, and then she was able to hack its brain and change it. That was the one that was like a longhorn, but she's able to take the corrupt one and like take the parts that she still needed.
Yeah.
To, I assume, craft or upgrade something else.
See, I like that because you can kill, break apart components, and I'm hoping you can do a lot of crafting in this too. Yeah, I mean, this is way more up my alley than anything else. So I was definitely
I'm
excited
definitely
for this
interested in it as well.
Yep.
I'm with you, Ed.
Yeah.
Meh.
Yeah.
And then they rolled into Quantic Dreams, Detroit, Become Human.
Oh man.
Lord have mercy.
Yep.
Take my money now.
That thing was intense, man.
And you know what?
Yeah.
You guys can play that one. I wasn't.
Yeah.
That's the beauty
You
of
weren't feeling it.
That's the beauty of the four of us. Is like, yeah. I mean, I never played Heavy Rain. All these different choices, androids. Yeah, you can have it. It's all you.
I'm playing it.
Yeah.
Here was my only worry. Hopefully, it's not just this one level.
Yeah. I wondered the same
Yeah.
thing. Was this the whole game, or was that just one mission level?
It definitely could be the whole game is just that level and the different ways that you can either save this girl and try to save both of them.
No, it's not, because they didn't even show the main person, which they showed at the reveal, the female character, the
Yeah,
other
there's
protagonist.
no way
they didn't
that's
even
just
show
one
her
level.
in this.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
And she's like,
Good.
up until this gameplay demo or teaser, if you want to call it. I don't know if you want to call it a demo, but we had never even seen this character. All we had ever seen was the female protagonist, and now all of a sudden we've got this person. So
Yeah,
there's no
Connor.
way that this is the only thing.
Yeah, no.
Nice.
If we know these developers, like from anything from Heavy Rain, there's no way that you're just going to be focusing on this, and it's probably
Yeah.
going to be an epic, long journey.
I thought
So-
that thing was so dope. I was like,
Right.
all right, let's get it. I like the different. The only thing I don't like about Choose Your Own Adventure is that sometimes they throw you a curveball where you're like, oh, well, this is the obvious answer. And then the other character responds to it in a way that's totally unrealistic. And you're like, oh, come on.
Right.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
throw a wrench in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's-
Then they went into their, Sony went into their VR showcase pretty much.
Yep.
Which kicked off, Lord of Mercy,
with Gabe's
with
favorite.
Resident Evil 7.
Right.
The place went nuts when that happened, and man, what a great the title treatment. The logo was really cool.
Oh,
how they
so
did
Yeah,
that. That
it
looked
was.
awesome. January 24th is when that
Yeah.
comes out, full VR.
And there's a playable demo for it on the PlayStation Store right now. It's not
Yeah.
the VR version, obviously.
Right,
but-
right.
Right. But it's the, I think it's actually the full trial. So
Yes.
I think it's like, what, as much as you can get in an hour or something like that? Is
Yeah,
that how
but
those
they
work?
did
Oh,
say,
nice.
the developer did come out and say that it's not the demo that you, or the thing that you can play right now is not actually in the real game. They're like, we didn't want to spoil anything about the
Oh,
game,
wow.
so we created this demo just for you to play that is the same look and feel of what you're going to get with Resident Evil 7.
Oh, sick. Yeah, won't be playing it.
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't downloaded. I want to give it a shot.
Yep.
Or maybe we play it at 200 if it's still available.
Oh, that'd be
Ooh,
cool.
that'd be a good idea.
right.
Good idea.
Like we did with PT.
Yep.
No,
There you go.
No, we
Stream
don't
that
play
junk.
it. Gabe plays it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only Gabe plays it,
Exactly.
and the lights need to
Great.
be off.
Yeah, with a thing, it depends.
Mhm.
And then they went into some more VR stuff. Farpoint was the first thing they showed, where
Yep.
it looked like you were on Mars. They went into Star Wars Battlefront, the X-Wing mission,
Yep.
Come on now.
Mhm.
That looked
Which Chris-
awesome.
Chris really liked. And
And
then
some information did come out about that. It's going to be an add-on DLC, so you need to already own Star Wars Battlefront.
Ah,
They
okay.
didn't say that during the little sizzle
Yeah.
little thing, but that is something you need to have.
And then here's the question. Will you be able to play most of these games also not in VR? They have to be
Yeah, they
letting
didn't-
these
they didn't
because
announce
they're going to
them.
sell like 10,000 VR things. They want to sell more than that as far as these games, right?
Well, I mean, they did say Final Fantasy 15 was September 30th, and that was part of their VR thing. So you would think you could either play it in VR or not.
Well, that was definitely a section too. I don't think that'll be the whole game in VR because they were looking at the character where you're going to be playing Noctis in Final Fantasy.
Right.
Yeah, no, that one and the Resident Evil 7 one, the VR portion of Resident Evil 7 is just a VR portion. Like, it's a separate thing. It's not, like, because the game is cross-platform. It's on Xbox One, it's on PC.
Yeah.
The whole game itself, I don't believe, is VR. Now, the
Right.
Mars game,
I
forget
think Farpoint is. Yeah.
I think that's going to be completely VR. And there
Yeah.
are definitely games in there that are totally VR, but the ones that are like the big name AAA titles that are cross-platform, they're not going to be VR only.
Yeah.
Mm.
And let's not forget PlayStation VR, October 13th, $399.
Yes.
Yeah, I got my email from Best Buy saying, hey, a thing that you pre-ordered has got a new release date.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
And then Rocksteady is doing a Batman VR.
And it was a trailer of just seeing the cowl and hearing the Joker's voice.
Yep.
So I'm like,
Yep.
what is this really going
That's
to be?
a tease, but they said October
Yeah.
2016.
But there have been people that have tried it already on the show floor yesterday and were reporting back and saying, this is dope.
Nice.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. And they're not giving too many details. Like there was one breakdown, I haven't gotten to read it yet, where he goes into more depth about what you're doing. But they said that Rocksteady said this is going to be an hour-long experience.
Wow.
Thing that you can do.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
so it's going to be more like a game. Because that's the thing, up until now, most of the VR stuff has been more about like, how long is
Just
it
a
really going to
side
be?
mission.
Is it going to be more of a tech demo than a game and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And they said this is going to be at least an hour.
Wow.
Right.
So,
There you have it.
and developed by Rocksteady. So it's not like some
Yeah,
other
can't
where
go
like they
wrong.
just handed it off.
Yeah. Then they went into Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare, and Modern Warfare.
Yep.
Modern Warfare looks great. Not much to say about those two things,
Yep.
besides the fact that I still don't want Infinite Warfare.
Yep.
Then they went into Crash Bandicoot, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. The
And
fact that
such
they're
a-
remastering the first 3 games, PS1 games, mind you,
Wow.
right,
and bringing them out
Yes.
for PS4.
Yeah, anything would have been a remaster at that point.
Yes.
Right.
And then what was that? Skylanders at the end, like
Yeah,
where
so
it shows somebody drawing on some paper and then it becoming real. I didn't understand how that worked.
something about like you can design your own character. I'm sure you have to go online for it, but you design something and then they'll create it as a character in the game or something. There wasn't a lot of
Yeah.
detail on it, but that's basically what they were
What it was showing.
saying.
Hmm.
How it works, I don't know.
And then Ed,
Hello.
Lego,
Lego.
Lego.
Lego
Awakens.
Star Wars Force Awakens
Looks
looked awesome.
Awesome.
And I love how they were able to take the dialogue from the movie but still make it funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was great. And
Yeah.
did you download that demo already?
I didn't actually because I want to wait for the full game.
Well, you only have to wait 2 weeks,
I know.
It's so cool.
which is great. I can't believe that. And then a guy just getting started in gaming
Mm-hmm.
came out.
Man, they gave him a huge introduction too. I had no
Yeah.
idea. I was like, who's
Yeah,
this
good
guy?
for him.
Who's this
Yeah.
guy?
Kojima came
Oh,
out and,
yes.
Uh-huh.
and was like, hey guys, want to see something weird?
Yeah, exactly.
I had this dream last night and recorded it.
Yep. And everybody was naked.
Exactly. And a man birthed a baby.
Oh,
But that's possible on Dead Fish Island.
dead fish.
Dead crabs.
Dead
Five
crabs.
gods in the
Crab
sky floating above you, watching lovingly.
Yeah. So we had a naked Norman Reedus who had just looked like giving birth to a baby.
And he was pretty ripped, let's just say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We were both saying if we wanted to get mocapped, that's how we'd want to get
That's how we
mocapped.
want to be mocapped.
Exactly.
And what's interesting about Norman Reedus being naked is that he's dirty, but you see handprints all over his body. And so I don't know if he was just in a scuffle or if he had just been carried to where he was. But he picks up this baby, he's crying, and then it's called Death Standing. That's
Stranding.
pretty much Stranding.
Death Stranding.
Oh, I think I put standing on YouTube. I'll change that.
It's all right.
Death Stranding. I think I put standing because that makes sense.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Of course.
Because it's a word.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know what the Japanese
lost
translation
the
is,
translation on stranding.
Stranding is a word too, though, to be clear.
What does that mean? Stranding?
Like when you're
What does that mean?
stranded, and if you're stranding, is it not the same thing? They're not part of the same.
oh, I don't know. Is it the same vernacular?
I
Because
use
he
it in
seemed
a
like he was
sentence.
stranded wherever
'Cause
he is, so that's how I took it.
It's death.
Use it in a sentence.
Yeah, stranded. It would be Death Stranded, which actually sounds like a better title. But I don't know what stranding is.
Yeah. I don't know if you can say, yeah, and then I left them stranding on an island.
Right. I'm stranding these guys.
We'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
I just took it as like that's the way he was going with it. I don't know.
Yeah. I just don't think that's an actual English word is all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
no. I feel you there. I didn't mean to imply otherwise. Sorry. I just meant the way that he used it.
By saying that it's a real word.
No.
And then they rolled into Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yes.
Spider-Man. That thing looked awesome.
Oh my gosh, it did.
I'll take it. And we were talking about, or Chris had mentioned that was rumored to be Sucker Punch,
It was.
not Insomniac.
It was
really?
the heavy rumor early on.
But instead, it's Insomniac.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that looked awesome. So that was cool. I loved watching Spider-Man. I feel like Spider-Man games have the most potential out of many superhero games to actually be fun.
Yeah.
Swinging through especially the games where they ignored that you actually need to attach to something, where you can just swing through the.
You're just kind of floating in there.
Yeah, you don't need that realism in a video game. Just throw
No,
out
who
the
needs
web.
that?
It's on something. We know.
If Spider-Man's low enough in the buildings, just let him shoot up in the air and swing.
Yep.
Like nobody
Yeah.
cares.
Doesn't matter what he hits or lands on,
Yeah,
as long as
exactly.
he gets that full pendulum motion, he's fine.
And then we went back into Days Gone, and they showed gameplay footage.
Yep.
And me and Chris think that they just showed gameplay footage to show how many characters they could put on screen at one time.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
Yeah.
that was
Let's
a lot of
throw
zombies,
some-
Jack.
Let's throw in as many zombies. Yeah, I was kind of getting the heebie-jeebies. I'm like, oh, is he going to get out of here? What's going on?
Dude, there's no way he gets out of that.
I loved the sound of that gun.
Oh,
loved
with the plugged
the
into
sound.
the oil filter.
Oh, that sounded so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. And they kind of told a lot of story quickly. He's looking for a guy. At first, you think maybe he's a guy he wants to find and like bring back to base. And then the guy tackles him on the roof, and you're like, "Oh gosh, they're enemies!" And he shoots him in the leg and leaves him there for dead.
Yeah.
Oh my
Right.
gosh, that was next level.
Yeah, I was kind of excited with this. I was like, okay, this might be a little bit Last of Us-esque, which could be kind of cool.
For sure. Yeah.
Still kind of bummed that we didn't hear anything from them, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep. I tell you what though, I've never seen like 1,000 zombies on screen before.
That's true.
It felt like World War Z, which I never saw, but I remember those trailers for
Right.
that movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what the game looked like.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, exactly. Where they like build upon themselves to
I know,
climb
it
up
was
the
just
side of a
crazy.
building.
Right.
Jeez Louise.
So, gentlemen, overall, what do we think?
I was happy with it.
Yeah, I was very happy with it.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I wanted to see a little Final Fantasy VII. I wouldn't have been
Of course.
disappointed, you know. And it was weird to kind of go through a year and not have any Far Cry or Assassin's Creed.
Yes, it was very
Oh,
weird.
yeah.
Very weird. I agree.
But I understand them taking the year off.
What I loved about this is there's a resurgence now where these press conferences are not necessarily just talking about what their services are. They're talking about games. It's all games. Like Sony came out guns blazing with just games.
Yeah.
A lot of which are the games that I would want to play. For me, Microsoft came out with games. Let's talk a little bit about our live service. Let's talk a little bit about our hardware. More games. So there was a little bit of a different balance in the Microsoft press conference versus the Sony one.
Yeah.
But all in all, man, it's all us, man. We as a consumer are going to be happy campers because people are bringing it, and that's all we could ask them for.
I love that there really was something for everyone. And even though I might not be excited about this game, there are people who are really excited for it. And I think that's cool.
There is a genre for everybody. There is a game for everybody throughout all of these press conferences.
Yeah.
So that's what I love.
I loved it too, man. I mean, this is just, I was trying to tell my wife, I was like, you have to understand, this is like, it's the biggest week in
It's
gaming.
a Super Bowl for gamers.
Yeah. And so I just love seeing everything come out, and I love seeing the reactions of people and everything like that. So it'll be fun as the week goes on to hear more about, what people saw on the floor, what they got to play, and what things are like, especially like that Batman thing where we didn't see much of it, but people are playing it. And so it must be something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I love that. Eduardo.
Yeah.
The YouTube channel, is it doing anything?
The YouTube channel is doing a lot. Kidding me? Let's see. New this week on YouTube. Just this week, we've got all of Gone Home, parts 1 through 4. Put up.
So that was a short game.
That was a really short game, an hour and a half maybe.
Oh,
What?
wow.
Yeah.
How much was it?
It was free with
It's
PS
the
Plus.
free, PS Plus.
Oh, okay.
I put up the first 26 chapters of Watch Dogs.
Nice.
You got it in.
I'm telling you, man.
You love it.
Chris was able to do some more Overwatch streaming, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe, you put up parts 16 through 19 of Uncharted.
Yeah.
Gabe and Chris put up a buttload of reaction videos to the press conferences, which is awesome. People are loving those and really having a good time watching you guys react. It's pretty cool.
Sorry about that.
I have to say, because I've never been to E3, so for me that was awesome. I know for Gabe is a bit of a downer because he's not actually there, but I had a lot of fun.
It was great.
Yeah, Gabe downgraded this year.
Yeah, I'm not as good as actually being there, but hey, man, thanks for hanging out.
I mean, yeah, you're almost as good a company as Brandon Scott. Almost.
And Chris got out with no bruising to his arms.
That's true.
Exactly.
Like, you can punch all you want. You ain't hitting me.
And then, like I mentioned earlier, put up the complete Trials of the Blood Dragon, parts 1 through 9.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10 YouTube videos from June 6th to June 12th. This is going to be really easy. Number 10, Ori and the Blind Forest, part 14.
Uh-huh.
Numbers 9 through 6, Dangerous Golf. I'm sorry.
Nice.
Numbers 9
Nice.
through 2, Dangerous Golf.
Nice.
And then the number 1 video, This War of Mine, the Little Ones, the first day.
Yeah, baby.
Nice. That is
holding
amazing.
off for hope, baby. We holding off for hope.
What is going on?
I don't
telling
know why that video gets watched at all. That is so funny. I love it.
that.
So Dangerous Golf 2 through 9?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, number 2 through number 9 was all Dangerous Golf.
That is
That's
hilarious.
great, man.
And how
Yeah.
many parts is there to Dangerous Golf?
Wow, there are. Let me see. There are 15.
So next week, all 10.
No, next week, I think it's going to be you and
All
Chris
reaction.
reacting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got
That's
you.
my prediction.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Love
2
it.
through 9. That is great. All right. Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different, except the fact that I forgot to put on Twitter again.
What?
Aw.
I know. I was too wrapped up in E3, man. I was too wrapped up in E3. So over on the forum, where you can always count on it being there, we ask you guys, what do you want to see from E3 this year? So this is kind of nice because now we know what's come out, and this is what people said beforehand. Shepdog921 said, I want to see what's next for Mass Effect. Those games were so good, so I'm wanting to see what Andromeda has to offer.
Me too. And we still didn't get to see it.
Exactly. We still want to see it. Haley Miller, I want to see a new Infamous game, to be honest.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be cool. Loved Infamous. I wonder what Sucker Punch is doing right now.
Right.
We don't have it in there anymore.
They're not doing
Yeah.
Spider-Man, we found out.
I don't get to ask under the table. Jeff S. It's a little late now. He said, but I basically wanted exactly what Sony did.
Nice.
Relate to a gamer. Yeah, I'm a little late to the party too, but I wanted to see Windows 10 gaming, and boy, did Microsoft deliver. I can now do away with my Xbox and play all exclusives from my PC with my Xbox friends. Now, if only Sony would team up with Steam and do their cross-platform via Steam, I would be in heaven.
Interesting.
Which they do a little bit of that with Rocket League.
Right.
You know. Seth is the GOAT. I want to see what's coming to PS4 this fall. All I care about, well, that and a nice Mass Effect update and a trailer for Uncharted 4 DLC. We didn't see any Uncharted 4 DLC. Yeah, we didn't see that. Arctic Warlocks. I'm excited to see anything that's coming out, but the long lead time until the game hits the stores are too long. I'm looking forward to see who drops the mic and announces, and you can download/buy it tonight, a la Bethsaida last year.
That's right.
Nice. Thank you guys for answering our questions. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/Married to the Games. Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Come check out the website, marriedtothegames.com. We're obviously talking over on the forum. And Twitter.com. Already did Twitter. YouTube.com/Married to the Games. And I'm laughing because I'm going to give Chris McCracken one more shot at this thing.
Nice.
Make up for yourself, Chris.
Rate us on iTunes so that we can fund the new MTTG Cast Crossy Road game.
Nice.
Well played.
I like it. Well, let's quickly get into some questions.
Let's go really fast. Email Lucas Ham. My fellow Americans, E3 conferences have come and gone, and I am sure you have shared your thoughts and reactions extensively, so I will take things in a different direction. So let me wish you a happy National Lobster Day. I don't know about you, but I prefer crab. They have more meat, and their shells don't make you work so hard to get them open. In honor of this fine, probably not well-known holiday, what's your favorite seafood? Feel free to give honorable mentions and also your least favorites as well.
They're all my least favorite.
You don't like fish?
Yeah, you don't like any seafood, do you?
No, my favorite seafood is hamburgers.
Is hamburger.
Yeah.
Goldfish crackers.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
Goldfish crackers. Yeah, I do not like seafood at all.
Wow.
I like a lot of seafood. My number
Me
one tops
too.
is probably going to be shrimp.
Yep.
But I like lobster, I like salmon, I like tilapia, I like flounder, I like cod. Bring it. Put it in my belly.
I like the shellfish more than the actual fish.
So let me ask you this. Have you guys ever slurped an oyster out of the shell?
No, I don't do oysters.
Disgusting. No,
I don't do
that
raw
either.
oysters.
No.
I've not even
did
done
that.
a cooked oyster. I would, but I'm not doing raw oysters.
I did the raw oyster in Australia. And let me tell you, that stuff is disgusting.
Yes, it is.
And
It tastes like a salty loogie.
Yes,
I was going to say,
it
I
does.
haven't done that, but I have had a head cold for a week.
And I'll say this also, I don't do sushi. I do cooked
Oh,
fish.
man,
really?
I love sushi.
Yeah, I don't like sushi at all.
Love sushi.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your least favorite. Eduardo,
I'm probably the opposite of you, Gabe. I'll take all of it.
everything.
Yeah, I'm probably more of a fish person than I am shellfish, but I like seafood.
So what's your least favorite then? Oyster?
Maybe, but I've never tried it. So yeah, I will say a dead shark is a good one.
Oh, there you go. Well,
Aw.
You love dead sharks.
I love dead sharks. There were a lot of dead
MTTG, now
sharks.
the proud sponsor of Shark Week.
There were a lot of dead sharks in the E3 trailers this year. I loved it.
Rowdy.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like sushi. I like shellfish, but I'm not a huge like salmon. I can do, but it's like if it's too fishy of a taste, I usually will back out. I still will eat it, but yeah, shellfish for me is definitely. And then you definitely like oysters. I've done them before with Tabasco. Tabasco helps a little, but it still
Oh, yeah.
feels like you're just eating a loogie. It's gross.
Oh, gosh. That made me burp a little bit.
Yep, it's kind of gross. Lucas, thank you so much for that. I love our little national days that he provides us. So happy National Lobster Day to you as well. Moving quick, Facebook, Josh Stapleton. In the E3 and MTTG spirit, I have some questions. What E3 game will Tim and Gabe be stoked about that they do another pickup video of? Probably Dishonored 2, right? That's an easy one.
Let's go get it.
Let's go get that.
So I can wear the mask on the way out.
Oh, please do. That would be great. What E3 game does Ed think he will be rage quitting in a year or two on the YouTube channel?
If I played it, it would be what was the one where she was collecting the stuff from the Longhorn?
Oh yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I was watching that. I was like, yeah, I would play that for like a minute and be like, nope.
Yeah, that's you. Last but not least, what VR game does Chris think he'll be so immersed in that he'll run into a wall while playing?
Well, luckily for me, I actually will not run into a wall because PlayStation VR does not have spatial movement where you're moving around in places. But I would say probably the Batman one, because if I could swoop around, I'd be
dude, you're gonna
be like, take that, Joker.
There you go.
Running into something.
We will definitely need video of that. Brett T. Bodden, if you watch Sony's broadcast on their official site, they had a live chat going simultaneously. During the overture, I was appalled at how many people were hating on the orchestra. I, for one, thought it was brilliant and beautiful. What did you guys think of the live orchestra? By the way, I don't know if you caught who was leading. His name is Bear McCreary, and he wrote He wrote the television scores for Battlestar Galactica and The Walking Dead, among others. He's a phenomenal talent, in my opinion. Totally agree, Brett. The live orchestra was amazing. It takes a lot of practice and rehearsals to pull something like that off for an actual press conference. Bear did an amazing job, and the orchestra should be commended. I thought that was an amazing touch.
Yeah. Like, what were people upset about?
Yeah, I don't know. They're just uncultured, maybe.
The only thing I did not like about the orchestra, and it's not even the orchestra's fault, it's just that first song they played leading into where they played the first trailer. That was a little long. That could have been shorter. But the actual orchestra being there and the work they did,
it was great.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I was wondering why it didn't lead into the trailer. It kind of like ends.
Yeah,
it was like a lull.
It was going to.
I thought as they were playing, the curtain was going to rise. Sony Entertainment presents, and then they were going to go right into it. But whatever.
Yeah, right.
It worked, and yes, it was fantastic. Thank you, Brett, for that. Moving on to Twitter, @thatchalfie. Tim says awesome. Ed says right. Gabe says, oh, snap. What does Chris say?
Oh,
VR.
VR.
You know,
Chris has started saying, oh, snap a lot.
Yeah, I actually did. I got that from Gabe. But on Twitter, at least, not so much in person, but on Twitter, a lot of times I say word.
Oh, that's funny.
Nice.
Whenever somebody says something I like, I just write, and it's WERD. I'll write word.
Word.
Nice.
But I don't say it in person very often.
You should start.
I should. That's going to be my new thing. Or maybe I'll say breadcrumbs. And I don't know what that means, but I'll just say it.
Breadcrumbs.
That's awesome. I like it.
Oh, my gosh.
At Arctic Warwalks, there was live tweeting and reaction videos. Next year, we are expecting floor coverage. Thanks for making entertainment.
Oh, man.
That was great.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Nice.
I know. I should have done floor coverage the last 3 years.
Yes, you should have.
I'm always so nervous when I walk in there. It's like right when I walk into a casino, I'm the same way. Like people are like, "What are you going to play?" I'm like, "I don't think anything."
I'm thinking. Let me process. Let me process.
And so I was always by myself, like most of the time. So I didn't ever. I don't know. Next time, yeah. Sorry.
Yep, it's all good. At Dante Logos, why do you game? Do you game for the challenge, the story, to explore new places and do things you never could do?
Yes.
Great question. I love it all.
Yeah, I was going to say all the above, except for the challenge part. Like when something looks like it's about to be really hard, I get a little bummed. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to think. You know what I mean?
I don't want to think too much
unless I'm
either.
playing a puzzler, like volume, or you're playing something where you're going and having to think, or let's keep it real. The puzzles in Uncharted are not hard.
No,
right?
No, they're
not great.
I like doing those little ones,
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
But unless it's a puzzle game, I don't like hard puzzles in the middle of me playing a game.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it's kind of a bit of all of them for me as well. Obviously, it depends on the game. On a game like a multiplayer game where it's PvP, I like the challenge aspect of I've got to beat the other team. I like that. I enjoy that. But I don't enjoy a challenge in like like you were saying, like if I'm playing Uncharted and then all these crazy puzzles come and they're hard to figure out. It's like, no, you're wasting my time.
Yeah.
I'm here for story.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing a little puzzle, but if you're going to make it to where I got to like take notes and draw figures and put them together, it's like, I don't have time for that. Come on now.
Yep.
Ed?
Yeah, I would say it's a little of all of the above. I think it's why anyone does any hobby they enjoy. It's just
Sure.
enjoyable, and there's not really a specific reason why. It's just all fun.
Yeah. I would say the one that's in the lead for me is probably getting lost in the experience.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
as much as I'm a movie guy, I love getting lost in, instead of a really good movie for 2 hours, it's a 13-hour really good movie.
Yep.
Exactly.
And it's interactive, which is even better.
What about you, Tim?
All of it. The story, the games, just everything about it. I don't mind the challenges either, as long as it's part of the story. Like it's not just there just to be there. I kind of felt, and this is weird saying now, but like in The Witcher, I felt like Gwent was just there to be there. But it turned out to be such a huge phenomenon. I love the story of how it's now going to be its own full game. Yeah. I get it, but for me, it was more of a distraction because I was so focused on the story.
Yeah, I played so much Gwent, it was crazy.
Yeah, you played the mess out of Gwent. So
that's why he never made to Skellige.
Yeah, exactly. Witcher 3 was pretty much a standalone Gwent game for me.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, I love it all, man. It's great.
That's
all right, we got
awesome.
two more. At Nova Beyond, word is that the Kojima game Death Stranding doesn't even have an engine yet. Now, that's an early announcement. Thoughts? Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing that they did for Final Fantasy VII last year. It's to wet the whistle, to give you something. Kojima has been in the news this past year because of everything that's been going on. And
with Konami.
So, like, this was kind of his breakout moment, and I think that's great for him. Yes, of course it was weird, but like at least giving the fans a taste of something is always it's something good, and it gets them talking about it.
And and it was good for people to see that the Norman Reedus thing wasn't thrown away.
Right.
I think when everything crumbled after Metal Gear Solid 5, I think people were like, "Oh crap! Well, we never get to see that Norman Reedus thing that we saw at the end of PT."
Yep. Yep. But we do.
It was definitely super early because there's no way his game, whatever it is, as far as what it consists of, it is not going to be before 2018. I mean, there's no way. But
I agree.
With all of the fallout that happened last year with Konami and how much of a big deal it was that Sony was able to sign him and for at least one exclusive game, and more importantly than all that, the fact that Metal Gear Solid 5 was his swan song, and he couldn't even accept the award at the Video Game Awards because Konami wouldn't let him. He needed to have his time on stage somewhere to shine. And
they gave him his time, and I think that's a tremendous respect on Sony's side to just be like, let's give this guy his moment, and I think that's kind of the whole reason why it was there. So I'm not mad at them at all for that. And, he's such a revolutionary. You may not agree with it, with all of his games or like a lot of his games. And yes, he is out there, but you have to respect him as an artist and a developer. I think he does amazing stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was glad he was able to be there.
Yeah, you have to, you can't sign someone like that and not have them show up, especially after all the disrespect, if you will, that he got the previous year.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
It was bound to happen. I'm so glad about it.
Yep.
Me too.
I'm with you on that. Last one, and I think this is a great way to wrap it up. At JonyBoy1901, what games are definite must-haves for all of y'all after seeing E3? Gabe, start with you.
That's what my question was going to be.
Oh, he took it.
And let me add on to that. What was your favorite conference?
Oh,
okay.
Sony, unfortunately, because I sound like such a fanboy most of the time. But
Sony.
Okay, so Sony, and then what game for you?
Oh man, it's a tie between two of them that are so different. I didn't get to see Ubisoft's. I wish I would have saw theirs, but probably between God of War and Detroit Become Human. I really want to play that God of War. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
What about you, McCracken?
Honestly, the reason that I gave Sony a 10 in my opinion is because every single exclusive game they showed I have interest in.
Yep.
But I would have to say, just from a pure enjoyment and pure just fun factor, the Spider-Man game.
Oh yeah.
Oh nice.
Just because I feel like I'm assuming it's going to have a story. I'm hoping it does have something really cool, but I could see myself just getting lost and zipping around the city on that thing. If it's, what I envision in my head. We just got a trailer, but.
Yeah. Edward?
I went through and highlighted the games in each conference that I was interested in, and that's how I decided that Ubisoft was my favorite. I think I had 5 games that, and I didn't do any for Microsoft, and I think the one I'm looking most forward to is the one from Sony, the Detroit game.
Yeah. That one looks so good. And let me just say too. Well, go ahead, Tim.
Well, I was going to say, first off, we need to apologize to our boy Donnie Reese because we didn't even mention. We did not even mention Nintendo
and Zelda
and the fact
they didn't
that
have a proper conference is why.
No, they didn't, and they spent the first 50 minutes on Pokemon, so it was like, oh,
yeah, you had a sea of Pokemon to wade through to finally get to anything.
Donnie, we love you, man. Sorry, man, but
we do love you. Thank you that you're coming to 200. But and that's what I was about to say. It was we didn't talk about Nintendo only because that thing was so long and drawn out, and it was hard to kind of I had it on the TV for, it felt like hours.
Oh, me too.
And
I just had it as background while I was working.
Right, and I couldn't grasp onto one thing because you'd look up and they'd just be on something for 30 minutes.
Yep.
And you're like, how are you on something for 30 minutes? And I understand they were doing their treehouse thing and all that.
Yeah,
but
couldn't do it.
I wish they would have just done one compressed something.
I missed that animated press conference they did. What was that, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
That was
last year and the year before.
So awesome.
Oh, gosh. Why? Come on, Reggie.
I know. So that's why Nintendo's my favorite press conference of the year of E3. And for me, honestly, I'm leaning towards Sony, but I have to give props to Microsoft because they were getting flack for the past 2 years for their press conferences, and they definitely came out guns blazing on this one.
Yeah, they did an awesome job.
I think they really did do a great job. Either way is going to be fine with me. I think there's more games on Sony's side that I'm more interested in playing versus Xbox One. For me, it's going to be a tie between Horizon Zero Dawn and Dishonored 2.
Nice.
Those are definitely
Dishonored 2.
Yeah, those are definitely the ones. Those are the ones that are tangible for me right now. Moving forward, God of War definitely, and Days Gone look incredible.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on Watch Dogs.
Yeah, and Watch Dogs definitely. Yeah, I mean, there's games, man. We've got tons of games. This is great.
We got games.
Games.
You need to get on a controller. Come on, come over. There you go.
Oh, man. I love it. That's great. All right. So the question of the week is that same question turned back to you guys. What can you not wait to get your hands on after you've seen all these announcements? You've heard our answers, and we'd love to hear from you. Donnie, I'm apologizing again.
Yeah, seriously. I just thought of him oh, poor Donnie. I feel so bad. He's probably and
Zelda, Pokemon, Miitomo.
Yeah. Also, Chris just brought this to my attention. Stitcher. I don't know why they don't like us anymore.
Stitcher be tripping, y'all.
Stitcher, this is what I gotta say. This is what I gotta say to you, Stitcher.
Ooh.
We don't even talk anymore. We don't even know what we are about.
What's going on?
They haven't posted our last couple shows, so I don't know why.
Yeah, come on, Stitcher. Tell us to our face.
Yeah, exactly. Don't tweet me.
Do we need to update our profile or something?
No. I don't know what's going on over there. So Stitcher hasn't been showing love, but obviously you can use Google Play. All of our podcasts are on the website, so if you just want to go there and listen to it, you can do whatever you like. We also have download links on our forum for every episode, so you can go download them if you don't want to, just stream them from the site. So yeah, we don't know what's going on with Stitcher, but 193 they stopped. And so
weird.
But we gonna keep this thing moving, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah. Regardless, don't let Stitcher fool you. We have not missed a week.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Right. Nope.
Can't nobody hold me down. Oh
no.
So
I got to keep on moving.
So yeah,
let's just keep doing music medleys as we fade out.
Right. Exactly. Oh man, this has been, I think, our longest episode yet.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know what we're gonna call it. maybe 2
The
hours. The
longest episode ever.
The longest episode ever. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. Feeling very bombcasty up in here.
Yeah, right?
So yeah, let us know what game you can't wait to get your hands on. And this week you'll probably be seeing some murmurings of a GoFundMe as we move forward with helping these kids out at Vanderbilt, but we didn't want to confuse that with the escape game in 200, but it's all going to be centered around 200, so keep your eyes out for that.
Love that.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Oh my gosh. This has been a long episode.
I'm sweating.
Right.
It's been an awesome episode.
In the car, sweating profusely.
I can't believe your battery is still going, Router. I'm so
I got
impressed with your
9%, baby.
computer.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
You think Nintendo went long?
Yeah,
That's right.
Exactly.
That's
I'm
right.
Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That is Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games, and we are up out this thing. Peace!